Yeah.
with his bonk stick.
Just superimpose an image of Master Oogway into like every scene that we had the past couple, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
All right. So
Funky.
when we last left our heroes, villains.
Heroes.
Heroes, definitely heroes.
When we
Don't
left our
take it away from us.
protagonists.
Swift isn't bothered by the distinction.
Period.
Gonna trace back just a little bit for Howard's sake. The group decided that it would be best not to kill the captain and instead have him go up the mountain with them because he's no good to them dead, especially because he said that he was going to vouch for them if they help him out with this mission to go up the mountain to see whatever the Zentarm agents found up there. He would vouch for them in Targos and clear their name.
Okay.
So the group more or less decided, okay, then we'll not kill you yet. This buys you exactly 3 sessions. So the group makes it to Kelvin's Cairn. There's a bit of a drama on the way there, but it's interpersonal stuff, and there's a Chewinga that gives Swift resistance to cold damage the next 24 hours, and I already kind of lost the time on that, so that's fine.
We haven't slept yet, so it's still kind of going.
Good. Okay.
Chewinga?
A
Chewinga?
A little...
The thing that delivered a berry to Mittens, and he freaked out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And so you guys reach Kelvin's Cairn, and you begin the ascent up Kelvin's Cairn. It proved to be treacherous, but not fatal, thankfully. Swift's natural inclination to weather and Barry's surprising depth of mountaineering helped the group, as she had grown up in the spine of the world. So this was, we even had a scene where Barry was judging the mountain because it wasn't a high quality mountain.
Low quality mountain.
Yeah.
A tier
Bargain
4,
basement.
really.
Bargain basement, really.
Yeah.
Shitty mountain.
And
It's also daylight. If you
It's
didn't
not
notice by the art.
Oh, wow, look how bright it is.
No, so you're not in dark mode, that's why.
Ah, I see the point.
I'm just gonna have black screens now, just from now on. Like, that's what you guys see.
It's just us.
That's right.
We just see each other and that's it. We just move around.
Anyways, so the ascension did, like I said before, prove to be a bit treacherous. There was an instance with the avalanche, and Barry shielded Octavio, and Octavio crumpled up like a wet paper towel.
Yep.
And there was a, what the fuck is this?
Whoa.
Robert, are you okay?
Broke.
What is that?
You created
It's
a
me.
filled shape.
It's me. Just keep talking.
Anyways, I think he's trying to get the sky. Anyways,
Not
You-
failed yet.
you did find the mountain climber that the Zentarm agents hired to I guess escort them up the mountain.
He was just hanging
He
out
was-
at the bottom.
He was no, he was unconscious.
Oh,
And the group resuscitated him, and he described how as they were starting to leave camp, they got waylaid by a Yeti. And as he was giving this information, some crag cats decided they wanted to join the fray. Didn't really get the jump on the group, but they did jump in. In the ensuing fight, they beat the shit out of the crag cats naturally.
Yeah.
But Octavio absolutely refused to use his magic, especially after he tried to do Hellish Rebuke, and the crag cat reflected it with its magical fur back at Octavio.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
It's a thing.
Hmm.
Thank you, Jose, for that. I love that nice matte gray sky.
Love it.
Somebody drop filled the sky.
You see a giant pitcher, boop, and just black. Anyways, you.
All right.
So after some perilous steps, you finally reach not the peak of the mountain, but where the agents were trying to get to their destination. And it is a kind of hollow, not a cave, but it's sort of hollow within the mountain where underneath where two peaks meet. And there you find another member of the expedition, a tiefling girl, frozen to death. She goes by the name of Asterix, and it's the Captain Scoth told you that he was more or less romantically inclined to this tiefling named Asterix. And so that's immediately where we pick back up. We're gonna open on the scene because we're gonna open on this scene of the captain looking down at the body of Asterix. There, the picture of the scene is in the chat, Howard, in case you can see it.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
And
By the way, Andrew, I don't know if you're meant to do that, but I can see inside the other side of the map.
yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? How?
Like the part that's
But
like.
I haven't seen what's in it. I can see the box.
Oh yeah, no. That's that.
We can see the outer box, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I can see the map in it.
Oh.
Oh, is it
I
because
can't.
you made a thing that extends into the box?
No. And why would I do anything?
Maybe we should all do that right now and just check this theory.
No, don't check it. I have not seen it. Chad hasn't seen it. I just know that I can see through it.
I get. Okay.
It's interesting because I'm doing Control L on your screen. I can't see it.
Did I just glitch out of the map? This is what happened.
What does
Yeah, my
Control L
bad.
do?
This
Control-
is
let me-
how
let
you
me-
die.
Let me
Let
let me restart.
It's like if
Is
you
it-
don't have dynamic lighting, I can see what you can't see.
Oh,
So,
Right.
cool.
it helps when it's like I have to set like the torches for you guys. I'm like, okay, that ranges.
It does help that they added a torch button though to the DMs.
Oh, nice.
Did we like roll20 now? What's happening? It's roll.
We haven't tried their video system in a while.
No.
Also,
I've
I just
liked
clicked
roll20
restart.
the whole time, assholes.
Let's not try it now. Anyways,
Oh yeah, as long as you never tried the video and chat function, just never.
I kind of like this better anyway, honestly.
Yeah. At least when one shuts down, everything doesn't shut down.
yeah. I mean, we can still theater of the mind some parts, so it's okay. All right. So
Okay, I think it was actually my Nvidia thing that glitched out,
Oh weird.
which is funny.
weird. So can you see?
Yeah.
Can you not see into the future now?
I cannot see into the future now.
Okay.
The NVIDIA
Need more
thing
spice.
lets you see through.
Well, because they did that thing that it shuts off the screen when it updates the drive.
Oh.
Yeah, it must have been that because I just
It gave him a prescient vision of the past future.
Wow.
Quick dose
guys,
of
let me message you.
spice for
Let me message you in private a screenshot I grabbed.
Not looking. I refuse.
Nah.
Seriously, is that what you're gonna
Alright,
do?
cool. No, dude.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
No, I didn't even see what was in it. I just saw
Come
that
on,
it was
Jose,
like.
why did you send me this?
No.
Spoilers.
Oh my God! Look at all this loot. Is that Holy Avenger?
Oh,
somewhere?
Alright.
Okay. All right. So we're getting serious here. Let's get serious. Put on your serious faces, people. All right.
Serious face.
Let me fix my director's beret. All right. So the captain, Captain Scoth, you see him take a couple of tired, exhausted steps forward, and he kind of half kneels, half collapses in front of Asterix, and you see him reach out with a hand, and a tremble starts to run through the hand, and you see it start to go up the shoulder. And is it emotions? Is it the cold? Is it exhaustion? But before anything else, you see him grip his hand like that, and you hear it squeeze. You hear him squeeze his glove so hard that the leather squeaks underneath it, and then he just stands up and doesn't look at any of you, and just says, "We still have the mission," and then just kind of walks off to a other side of the area, away from the frozen corpse of Asterix.
Okay, so question to the group, do we want to make camp? I feel as though when we left off, we hiked around the mountain for about 8 hours. We hiked up the mountain for 4 to 6 hours.
And we?
Octavius just exhausted. He's just not having it.
I mean,
right now after being buried.
I'll just say, if it wasn't for the fact that there were stuff that played into exhaustion anyways, this would have been well past 8 hours of trekking.
Okay, I would say let's Beery at that point just kind of like looks at the frozen corpses and looks back at Swift and the Mountaineer and say, I think we should probably make camp here and make our ascent tomorrow.
Before we try to scavenge what we can out of what's left, it would probably do us some good to see if we can figure out anything about what happened. Yeah?
Yeah. I'll check in on the captain and get the fire started if you would like to investigate.
Yeah, I'll attempt to investigate as well.
Okay. I'm gonna just...
As I bump into Gar, I was like, oh, Gar, oh, Jesus.
God, have you been
here the whole time?
Oh God, silent killer. God is.
Is there
The
something to
bonk,
make
the
fire
bonk that
with?
goes bonk in the night.
When
We have
things
stuff
get
to make fire.
dark,
Okay, good. I don't know what the mountain, if it's like wooded or is it like just wasteland.
No, this is like the tippy toe of Everest, right before they make the final climb.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's like no vegetation, nothing.
So I think what Swift is looking for in particular here is any kind of like animal or beast, like tracks or claw marks or prints or like anything like that.
I'm looking at the body, the frozen one.
Which one? There's two. There's blue boots and then there's...
Oh, no, not blue. Well, both of them, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Well, that guy's been here forever.
Yeah, that's why I was like.
I
Do
mean,
have? Oh, I don't have
you
inspiration.
can. You can still...
It's okay.
Blue boots.
I rolled an 11.
On what?
Investigation.
To search the bodies?
Oh no, just investigating what happened.
Oh.
I'm not gonna necessarily search her pockets in front of the captain. That's rude.
Just, is he looking?
That's a Mittens thing.
Mittens is now missing. So,
Yeah.
What you can surmise, even with that investigation check, you can see that there were boot prints leading towards Asterix. Like, there hasn't been fresh snowfall in a while. So you could see boot prints that lead towards, and every now and then, like, one will face the other way, and then they keep going to where she ended up.
I assume her boot prints.
Oh god, I just realized in the art you can see her fucking eyes are open.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. That's gonna haunt me. Ugh. I mean, you can search the bodies. You're down to do that. That's fine. That's your prerogative.
Well, it's not Octavius.
Okay.
but yeah, Swift wants to sort of check for any sort of sign of what did this.
Okay. I would need to see just investigation checks all around.
Do we expect it's anything but they froze to death? Or is there something like else
What the,
happening?
Oh yeah, I don't think he knows what we're here for.
Oh,
I mean, I know why
yeah.
we're here, but like,
well, no. Garrett said that they were attacked by a Yeti.
yeah.
Yeah, the group was waylaid by a Yeti, and the last he saw was that the Goliath of their party was trying to fend it off, and everyone else just kind of went their own, like they just scattered.
This is the only like body that the only like fresh body that we see here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I have disadvantage on this because I'm exhausted. Doesn't really
Nope.
matter.
Nope.
Turns out, it doesn't matter.
You see about what Octavius. You just
If anybody finds anything that I need to track, then I can do survival. But let's.
you just sit there and just like that's fine. You're like just physically too exhausted to like.
I'm gonna walk up to the captain and hand him my flask. Just kind of like over his shoulder. Just kind of like here. I'll make sure that she receives a respectful place of rest. And then I walk over to the group and probably roll an investigation check since nope, don't know anything. That's the body,
mine's on deck.
alright.
Roll a natural
Walk
20.
over. Hey, you guys need help here?
Natural 20.
Investigation. The captain.
Still the best out of any of us.
Why can't we roll above? Like...
Because Bins isn't here.
Oh, that must be it.
The captain is abnormally quiet to your giving of the flask, and he just when you give it to him, it's just his moves are just kind of robotic and not at all like they're not unnatural, but you could definitely tell there's no emotion in them at this moment. Okay, fine. Gar, because you did the best out of all of them.
By a lot.
By a whole lot. With your fresh eyes, with your fresh portable eyes.
He has glasses, you see?
You see, yeah. What you do see is that you do the thing that apparently nobody else thought of, and that was just follow the boot prints back.
That would have been a survival check.
That's
whatever. Tracking. It is tracking.
It's following. Whatever. Fine.
That's what survival is for.
That's what tracking is.
Anyways,
Andrew just doesn't want me to use my +7.
Probably not.
And this is why we're capping it at level 3.
Too powerful.
Anyway, so Gar's is like, has anyone decided to follow the boots back? And that's when Swift's like, oh yeah, sorry.
It's not an animal. It's not an animal. So Swift is just like,
it's like, boots are people tracks. Duh, of course.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Fuck, right.
and so you follow it back, and you do see, the boot marks go. My phone's blowing up. I'm sorry. It's a lot of work emails. The boot tracks do lead around a ledge, and you can see that they were very hasty. Like whoever was, it's actually as you're following them going backwards, you can see exactly where the exhaustion kicked in, because the boot tracks where she was at, where she ended up at, are closer together, but then as you follow them, they get further and further apart until eventually you do come across a what looks like a hand, but it's splayed out a little too far. Like the thumb is like down here, and there's very clear claw marks at the end, because you can see where the fingers end, and then there's thin things that extend out from that.
Yeti?
How far? Yeah, must be. Was it like right there, or was it farther down?
It was much further down. This was about like probably about like a 10-minute walk away from where you were at.
Ooh, didn't like whatever that weird noise was.
So when tracking other creatures, I learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area.
Okay.
So like looking at the sort of like tracks that this creature left, can I like figure that out? Like how long ago this happened?
Yeah. Let's see.
It's part of my natural explorer feat.
Does that
or feature.
require a roll, or is that?
It just says creatures that I'm tracking. I learn the exact number of their sizes and how long ago they passed through the area. So there's no
Okay.
roll associated with it.
Okay.
I mean, I can roll a survival check to like see how well I'm tracking, but
Yeah. Go ahead and do that for me, just in case.
cool. -2. So that's a dirty 20.
Whew.
Oof. Okay. So you determined based on this that the thing it's quite large.
Mhm.
Like you put your hand in it and it easily over encompasses. It's probably thrice the size of your hand. However, based on its gait, or what you hope is its gait, there seemed to be only one. But how long ago? Let me see if I can get an exact time, or at least an
A
approximate.
ballpark is
Can we reach it where we are?
what do you mean?
Like how far down off? You said it was off of the cliff, right?
Yeah, there was a trail, not a trail, like a ridge that led down from where you're at right now.
How
What is it?
far down from that, like from the ridge line, is it?
It is, I would say, it would probably have to be a short hike from where you're at. We're talking about maybe like an hour or so. But the tracks are not entirely fresh. You determine with even the low amount of snowfall that's here, that these tracks were probably made about maybe a day or so.
Okay.
Okay.
But are you guys going to try to set up camp, or are you?
I think so at this point, yeah.
Is there anywhere to like do that effectively, or is it just
Where they had
all
set it
open?
up previously.
Oh, okay. There was a camp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
okay.
base camp here,
Yeah.
but it's like all torn up. So Swift is going to try and like salvage what is possible to salvage, and
Yeah, this area is a plateau. It's like that's a oddly, well, not oddly, but it is a conveniently flat piece, or flat-ish piece of land amongst these ridges and hills and steeps.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm gonna get back to trying to set up camp, I guess, at this point. Is there any wood that can be collected in the area?
Anything to burn? Maybe the old camp, like the
Sure.
ripped up pieces.
yeah, anything that we can't salvage is
Yeah.
probably good for.
Oh, that whatever that noise is, don't like it.
It's just the sound.
I'm here like by myself, so every noise I'm just like, whoa.
Is it like the sort of like where?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's literally just a guy with a guitar pick on a string going, "Wah," and then there's just a delay effect on it, so it's fine. Demystifying the spooky music for you.
Now, where that guy is, we don't
He's
know.
right behind you.
That guy isn't a guy. It's the Yeti.
That Yeti's gonna get tased. Okay.
There's not like logs of wood, but there are like the stakes from the previous camp, and you imagine you could probably burn like the fabric of the tents and stuff. It's not going to make a great fire, but
Really nothing.
it's kind of something. It's probably like enough of a fire for like an hour.
Okay, this might be a weird one. Do I have any bones left over from the crag cat?
You have bones galore. You never said any. Well, yeah, you have bones. You have you you kept like the femur bones.
It's too late to go back. We'd have to go through a really dangerous section of the mountain again.
I was gonna say, because I might wrap that with the fabric, because fat and stuff like that burns longer. Yeah?
Like a
Worth a
torch.
shot?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah! A bone torch.
Bone torch.
You still have your lantern.
And torches.
But we
Like
need
actual
warmth.
But a bone torch. is-
Oh no, this is not for a light source. This is strictly for like warmth.
Oh, I thought we were going like full native aesthetic. Like no, beer.
Nope. No, Beery is not going full native at this point.
I mean, warmth is. You guys still have your sleeping gear, and your cold weather clothing, but this is mountain living, baby.
Mhm.
I'm talking no fires, no nothing. Just you're just
It's
happy.
windy.
You get
It's
a
fucking
flat.
windy.
The fact that that you have like a 10x10 square to lay in is a luxury, because you could have been setting out a canopy like on a steep like hillside, and where you just roll over.
That's
Oh,
true.
there goes Octavia.
That was how we lost Octavia. His erratic sleeping threw
Ah,
him
yeah.
off the side of a mountain in the middle of the
That's
night.
true.
You
Alright,
guys
so-
know, but I make it can. So.
Alright, so we're gonna spend the next hour setting up the tents, setting up our sleeping gear, and then snuggle in for the night. We definitely need somebody to keep watch.
I can keep
Shifts?
watch.
I can do first watch.
Okay.
Me too.
First-
We'll both do it.
Or
First watch, second watch, third watch. And...
Swift needs to sleep to get rid of the level of exhaustion.
Oh yeah, and then captain takes watch.
Do we
Ooh,
trust
no,
the
just
captain
kidding.
to?
Yeah.
The captain's awake. He's got to be with someone else. I can
Yeah.
do that if we need someone to.
You guys,
No,
Like,
I'm
I think
completely-
Swift could take last watch. It's just like getting the uninterrupted sleep for Swift. is
Yeah.
the-
Needs to happen there.
I'm
Can we
at
just
full,
say
so.
Mins is here for his watch?
absolutely.
We've never pretended Gar's here, so
I mean, yes, I have. What are you talking about?
That's a really good point, Gar. I'm really glad you said that.
We've never used Gar's healing spells to help us.
Thank you for being so supportive, Gar.
I'm just there to agree with whatever you say.
Gar, if you don't want us to use your healing spell, say something.
He didn't say anything.
all right, so first watch.
I mean, it works out fine. Like you can, like, Swift can still take a rest and get a watch in because
I know mechanically it works that way, so
yeah, it's defined in the player's handbook. You only have to sleep 6 hours, which is like still too much sleep.
it's just 8 hours of like basically no strenuous activity,
Right.
Yeah.
assuming that sleep happens in there, but like other like small like light activity is possible.
Yeah, like trying to read a book, doing some whittling, playing some Elden Ring.
No, that's
Oh.
strenuous activity.
Light
That's
activity.
too stressful.
Very
Right.
strenuous.
Elden Ring is if you play Elden Ring and you don't break a sweat, what's wrong with you?
All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
get camp going, I guess.
Yeah. All right, everyone snuggles in for the night. Octavio brews a nice cup of tea.
Next
Yes.
to the bone
Somehow.
fire.
As I show Beery as she's getting her bonfire going. It's like, Beery, check this out. And I bring out my little baggie. These are tea leaves from the east. You just put this in this little strainer and then dip it in the water. Now we wait. I have a wristwatch for some reason. 3 minutes. No, wait. It's Beery.
Whew,
Beery,
what?
just, it takes a little bit. You
The
have
way
to
you-
wait. Hold on, but then and just there, take it out, right at the right time. Now here, it's a little bit sweetening. This is why I have honey. No, Beer!
It wouldn't just immediately freeze.
Yeah.
It's just like
The way
it's a little
you-
hot, and then like
way-
as you hand it to him,
Actually-
as you hand it the beer, you can see the frost spreading over. The...
No, I use my fire magic a bit on it. Just-
Oh, you are using your
now
magic.
you use your magic.
Mm.
Well, that's the thing. I do it without
Mm.
realizing it.
You
You know what I mean?
Octavio, what's a good use for those hot hand spears? Warm up some stones and give them to everybody.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Here,
No, I mean it's good. Then
try
you
the
could
tea.
hot stones, keep
Can you do
warm.
that?
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
actually,
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Here, I'll turn it off.
that's actually a weird. Hey, thank you, Les Stroud.
Really?
Okay.
Giving hot stones to people, it's a
Just
good
like
thing?
a nice warm stone, kind of like when Gus sleeps in your bed before you get in and it's warm, like that.
Oh. No, well,
Oh,
for
yeah,
some
they
reason,
have 'em in
Gus never
Don't
wants to
Starve.
sleep near me.
The captain shouts, "It's like a spa. It's like you get in a
It's like a
fucking
spa.
Oh!
Oh,
The
okay.
captain
Okay,
is
alright, alright.
drunk
For
off
some
of
reason.
Beery's Everclear.
It's like you get in
that
a
makes
fucking
that makes a lot
spa.
of sense now. Let me just try it real quick.
For some
Can I
reason,
gather
Gus
some
never
stones
wants
and
to
just
sleep near me.
I'm glad that Robert got that.
For some reason.
Gotta grab like a bunch of stones, like 2 per person, and just like blast the shit out of it with my magic.
Yeah, you look around. Yeah, there's some stones, sure.
I just another nice and hot.
Hot hands, hot hands.
The way you led into this whole scenario, you just like you bring out a little baggie of plants, and you're like, "By the way, Beery, this is weed."
This is how you make a specialty. This will make you feel funny.
This mountain ain't the only thing that's high.
And we're
I
off
get
to
that
a
Kieran
quick-
Kron over here.
Listen, we're allowed to
Beery,
talk
say it.
about it. We're not just not allowed to, you know,
Actively
on
Yeah.
stream.
or
Anyways,
or
so-
what's the word?
promote it.
Promote
or
it.
prom-
Yeah.
So,
Promote.
so I heat up the stones and like, okay, there's the stones, and I shove them into everybody's tent. Hopefully, it doesn't catch
Just
fire.
throw them
Yes.
at people.
Hot stones.
Hits the cat in the back of the head.
Wake up and just have like a round burn mark on my hand. I'm like, what the fuck is this? There's a cold rock and a burn mark on my.
It makes sense.
And your
Oh,
eyes narrow,
Lord.
and you're just immediately like, Octavio.
Okay.
I don't know how. I don't know why.
I don't know why. This is Octavio's fault.
Come down.
Which,
All right. So, what do I have to do for my first watch?
for your first watch, you can just, I don't know, what do you want to do for your first watch?
Oh, well, I don't know. Is there like a check? I was asking to see, like, what happens.
I mean, if you want to, you can roll me an investigation check.
Sure.
Another one, another sneaky investigation check.
Ooh, wow.
Never mind.
going really
well.
Nothing happened.
You just kind of spend your watch just like looking at the sky, kind of kicking your feet.
The way the rolls are going in this game are not making me feel any
I
better.
think it's dark
Like you
mode.
start like you kind of start like hum a song. It's like about how like you climbed up a mountain and stuff like that. and like by the time your watch ends, you have like a half-ass like mountain song that you're like kind of proud of.
Glad Octavia is feeling better. Good enough to brew some tea. And make her
Yeah,
make
make
some hot
mountain
stones.
songs.
And make
Yes.
mountain songs.
But thankfully your watch passes uneventfully.
You're gonna say unfortunately.
I was gonna say unfortunately.
Fortunately.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately for me, unfortunately for you.
Up next is Gar.
Car's on his watch. Car's
Okay.
investigating.
He was
on his
already
watch.
there.
He was ready. He's awake. He's been sleeping for the past
You have
24 hours.
a neck pillow made out of mushrooms.
Ooh.
Sleep anywhere.
He's been in a medically induced coma. He doesn't want to go back to sleep for a while.
Got cold
Um,
shocked, just passed out.
I'm gonna look around.
Gonna
Oh my
look
God.
over.
We're gonna wake up surrounded by Yetis.
Oh yeah.
No one saw anything.
They're like right in front of the tents too. Some of them are in the tents with us.
You kind of look around. You're just like patrolling the area, and you look, and it's not like the tents are like they have like zippers. Like they're not like like modern day tents. They're just with flaps and whatnot. And you see the captain is just like
His
he's
eyes
not
open?
he's not sleeping. He's just waiting at this point. Just.
Jeez.
And that's what you noticed during your watch is like, Okay, gonna take a mental note of that. And you just continue your patrol.
He seems a little upset. Anyway,
Go.
Hello, buddy.
It's almost like somebody near and dear to him passed away in a tragic manner.
oh,
Oh,
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
also her body's like right over there, like
Yeah, we didn't cover it up. Or
like just hanging out in the corner.
Just sitting there right in front of the remains of another poor sap that died on this mountain.
goodness
So,
gracious.
yeah.
Or we're not using it as like a coat thing.
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
Jesus.
This one's my boot scraper.
All of everybody's gear is hanging.
Like off the horns and stuff, like the backpack.
Oh
is hanging.
God, no!
Oh, man.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, now that it's black, it actually does look
It
correct.
looks right.
Yeah, actually, wow.
It looks
Look at that.
weird.
Well
like,
done.
Like, no, not. I need to do shading on the mountain. I'm
Can we
not.
get
Dude, I was trying.
Hey, we get
I was
some
trying to do
gradient.
that, but there's no transparency. I was gonna put like a hole over it.
I mean, roll20 doesn't have tools that are that good. But come on,
You
now.
gotta put
Yeah.
the Aurora Borealis on there. Come on, man. I need to see it. But oh yeah. By the way, that's something else that we covered in one of the previous sessions, Howard. They found out that the creature that is creating the Aurora Borealis around Icewind Dale is none other than the mythical Rock.
Yeah,
Or
Dwayne the Rock
some-
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Finally got his wings.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mhm.
the one that we saw.
Turns out what the Rock is cooking is the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, I always wondered.
Yeah, and after his smash hit Jungle Cruise, he decided to jump in on Icewind Dale. No, but it was like a huge,
God, you're going all in on this.
like a mythical bird of legend, and
Didn't I
And-
see that? Or someone saw it?
you saw things, and like somebody like previously, it was like someone saw a flying creature
That was me.
and Swift like heard
Couple of people have
Davey
seen it at this
cry.
point.
But now it's like the pieces kind of came together, and Barry had a oh my god moment because this was like a really big thing for Goliaths to see a rock. But yeah, and it was so big that the wingspan encompassed the whole of the moon. It was ginormous.
How was
Aw,
it
now
making
starts.
the aurora? Just everywhere it goes?
as it was flying by, it I described it like the sky was bleeding behind it, and the aurora poured out from there.
Cool.
So yeah. But yeah, just like as it was flying, the aurora trailed behind. All
The
right.
rock's leaving chemtrails over.
It was only a matter of time till we got there.
God.
Sorry,
Those
I had
poor-
to. It
those
was just
poor
sitting
frogs.
there.
Anyways,
Have you been talking to Macretus again?
you get to Macretus's cabin, and he's a wizard, but he has an aluminum foil hat instead of a wizard hat. Anyways,
Whimsical.
the Grey Hands are looking for me.
That's why I did out here alone.
But Gar, your watch passes by uneventful as well, unfortunately.
All right. Well, that was...
Dude,
My
put all
turn.
these stars in the sky.
All right.
Oh wow! Look at this. It's coming
So
together,
nice.
Jose.
Thank you.
All right. Beery steps out, stretches, investigates, doesn't see shit.
Sees absolutely fuck all nothing.
I see
Wow.
the captain sitting there, and I walk over and I walk over and I ask him. I kind of like gesture towards her and I say, "Do you want to help me?" Like inferencing building her burial mound of sorts.
To your surprise, the captain actually goes, "No, we need to save our strength. There will be time after, but not now."
I pat him on the
Whoa.
shoulder and tell him there's no time like the present, and then I just kind of get to collecting the rocks I can from the area. No, I'm building her like an actual like cairn on the cairn. Yeah.
A cairn on Kelvin's cairn.
Yeah.
Elvin's Cairn's Cairn.
Make sure you point that out as you're doing
H-
it.
no.
Yes.
No. I'm gonna try to avoid talking to the captain.
Look at the cairn. For the cairn.
On the cairn. Wow.
Heard you like Cairns.
Wow.
So we put a cairn in your cairn.
Yes.
Okay, that's what.
Ooh,
so,
look at
so
that. Is that the Big Dipper?
It's a little dipper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you spend your turn creating a cairn for Asterix. And by the time it's whose turn is it now? Swift. By the time Swift wakes up, you hear the soft scraping of rocks as you see Beery surprisingly delicately, like gingerly placing rocks like around the corpse of Asterix. Like it's a weird moment, and you could tell that like she knows or she doesn't know anyone's awake yet. But you see her like trying to get it just so that way it doesn't go off balance and tumble off.
That Swift doesn't say anything.
At this point, I kind of look at Swift and I gesture towards the captain and say, like, can you, before we enclose her, can you discreetly see if you can find out anything? Seems like we know nothing about what happened here. Just, we haven't been able to investigate her body, and that's kind of been like...
I mean, we kind of just figured out that she just stopped moving and then she froze to death, right?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Like, I wanted to see if there was anything on her, but I don't know if we need to actually succeed on our investigation to figure that out.
Well, it's pitch black up here, right?
Well,
well, now
Andrew.
the body's covered up. So.
Well, it's not fully encased yet. I actually was imagining I was going to build her a cairn and then lift her and wrap her in fabric and then put her in her place.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I thought you were like putting the rocks around where she's at right now.
I mean,
No.
can she be moved?
I was... Hopefully...
Is it just like frozen to the ground? I don't know how that
Eerie
works.
has a great... Well, she hasn't been there long enough for it to refreeze, so I think we should be okay, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you actually want to try or not, but like, if you were to poke Asterix's body, there is a bit of wobble there.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's kind of sickening how solid she is, though. But there is like, she's not frozen in place. The poor fucker in front of her, however, that's gonna take some doing getting out of. He's like half sunk in the snow.
No. Can't deal with that one. Although I probably would, if I had another watch, place another one around him too. But her first.
Okay.
I think if we want to see if she has like anything on her that indicates like what they were trying to do up here, like
Yeah.
Swift is invisible in the dark, so
Or even just some, like, I know this one sounds weird, but a memento for the captain, because
if he wanted one, he probably could have taken it. So
you don't really want to search the corpse of the person you love, right?
Or no.
I have not had this experience, so I do not know.
Whatever. you got down with on a Friday night, whatever.
I am also not very. Your experiences are not universal.
I don't know what their relationship was, but we need something for her final resting place.
I'll look. If anything, we can find out more about what they thought was happening up here. Sure, I'll try. But
Okay, I left some crag cat steaks out for you, and then I go to bed.
cracked ice eggs that you could probably club someone to death with by now, by how cold they are.
Then I'm pretty sure Swift is a vegetarian.
Swift's not a vegetarian.
No, okay. Why did I think
No.
Swift was a vegetarian?
No, Swift. If you're your goal is to survive, you're not
Fair.
a vegetarian.
Fair.
Yeah, no,
Just disgusted by Beery's eating habit.
Swift was raised in the tundra. Like, meat is all they know, probably. Like, berries are a luxury. No, meat is life. Swift's got a lot of protein. Too much red meat.
Swift is like lean muscle though. It's like lithe, not
Wiry.
jacked. Yeah.
A lot of elk. All right, so Swift, what are you gonna do on your? You wake up. You feel refreshed, rejuvenated. Your eyes,
thank God.
your eyes are sharp again.
My brand. And I think Swift. So Swift is generally just gonna keep lookout, like you do on watch. But I think, like, I guess in response to Beery asking, Swift sort of looks over. We don't have like any light up here because it would kind of be like a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing as Swift is invisible to people who rely on dark vision in the darkness, I think they're gonna try and see if there's anything like related to what they were doing up here on Asterix's body.
Makes sense.
All right. Roll me a stealth check.
Do I do an advantage since he can't see me?
Yes. And you do it at advantage for another certain.
24.
He's also
Yep.
dead. No. You look around, kind of look at the captain. You see he's still like in the sitting position that he was at, but you see his head's kind of lolling a bit, and you can hear a soft like snoring sound. Like, oh, thank God, he's actually went to sleep. And you search Asterix to see if she had anything, and what you find is that you find a potion on her person, a potion of invisibility.
Ooh.
And Swift, it's another one of your favorite things. It's a book.
Oh no.
Gar, were you there for that? For the book thing?
No, can you not read or something?
Okay, hold on. No, hold on. So if you were to open the book, you see that it also contains spells. She also has like a spell focus on her.
Okay.
But you see like clutched in her hand so tight that it actually made an imprint on her palm is a Zentarum pin. And if you were to remove the pin, you can see the inverted snake consuming an egg like tattooed onto her palm. So Gar, what happened with Swift was that the book that they got from the book that the
Red Wizard.
East Haven people got off the Red Wizard, the spell on it dissipated because the Red Wizard was dead for so long. But what happened was that the word like as he was the way it dispelled was that Swift was reading the book, and it was the poetry, and then the words one by one started to fall to the bottom of the page, and so Swift was left there holding a book while the words were like kind of tumbling, like if they were to move it to one side, all the letters would tumble to one side and stuff like that, and this is when they were on watch at night, so no one else was there to see it. but then the words came back and they started to describe spells.
You meant the part where Swift like tried to like push the letters back up the page,
Shaking them out.
like turning the book upside down.
Shaking it like an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I guess Swift has a weird phobia of books or something.
Not a fan.
That's a
Like that one book was real weird.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty weird experience.
I think
Didn't say anything about it till like last session.
Was it last session where you asked,
Yeah.
do books stay the same to you?
Oh yeah, yes, Octavio. And Octavio was like, "Excuse me? Hold on."
Yeah,
Okay.
Octavio
Is
knows
this just how
book.
books are,
Is
or
this what
like?
books are like, or
Do books lose their letters after a while?
Yeah.
Do they do that?
That's funny.
Okay. Do you want me to roll a perception check then for like the actual watch?
Yes.
That's a 15.
Your okay, so your eyes scan over the horizon, I guess. And you look down the area where the Yeti tracks lead, and then you go to the opposite end where the captain is lightly snoozing, and you see that there's another ridge that leads down. To what, though, you're not quite certain unless you intend to follow said ridge.
Not alone at night. Absolutely not.
Well, it's always night, so
Well, not alone while everyone's sleeping.
okay, fair enough. But you know, you take a mental note that there's another ridge, and you can see that the ridge winds down as well, leading.
So I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Then I think what Swift does is if the captain is sort of like nodded off,
Mhm.
Swift will go over and place the book, the spell book, and the pen, the Centaur pen, on top of it, next to the captain.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you do that, and the captain just. But other than that, nothing.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. All right. The night passes uneventfully, but you all wake up. Play the Final Fantasy VII sleeping song, because that's what happened. So
We used a tent in the field.
yeah, yeah. Octavio, it's cold. It's blisteringly cold up here. Beery, it's all right. It's,
It's casual.
It's shorts weather.
yeah.
Yeah,
right?
basically.
It's actually a little humid. But everybody else is kind of more or less used to this. Octavia, I don't know if you're used to this by now, but the absolute height of the mountain has made it extremely cold.
After I pack up like my tent and sleeping gear, I want to take some of the remnants from the other tents that we didn't burn or do anything with,
Okay.
and I want to wrap Asterix's body and place her in the cairn.
Look at
Cairn.
Cairn. Yeah.
It's one of those things that I just will never say right. But yeah, so I placed her in there. I placed some stones over her. I'm gonna walk up to Swift and ask if there was anything that we can place on top of her burial
what?
mound.
From out of one of the tents tumbles out a empty wineskin and a half-eaten block of frozen goat cheese.
Mm.
Nice. Okay, I'll
Just-
take those. I was thinking like the spell focus or something. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I
You
guess that was
weren't
a spell
thinking
focus.
goat cheese.
There
is
was a
what
spell
you're saying.
focus. I guess we could use that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Just whichever spell focus you feel is more apropos for the situation, go ahead and because it, you know, didn't really specify. It could be a crystal ball.
Ooh,
Let's go with crystal ball. That way, it's a nice little ping on top.
There we go.
that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So I finished her her burial mound and place her spell focus on top and kind of just call the captain over.
He comes over. His eyes are bloodshot. You can see he hasn't shaved in a couple of days. He also looks like he's incredibly tired. But you see he is like kind of holding the book that Swift put down like by the corner of it. Like not like flapping, but just like, you know,
Yeah.
together by the corner.
I turn to kind of walk away and give him some space. Before I walk away, I just kind of say, like, we don't know what the summit holds, so say what you need to say now before we head out. And then I walk away. To the extent Viri deals with emotion.
Do your thing.
While that's happening, I think Swift goes over to Octavio I don't know what Octavia is doing right now, but I think
He's eating.
I think Swift sort of like sits down next to Octavio and says, it just sort of like takes the potion of invisibility out of their pocket and just sort of without a word kind of just tries to hand it over to Octavio.
Oh.
Like-
Does Swift know what this is?
I would imagine it's labeled potion of invisibility.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that
No,
case,
no
I'm just
sea
like,
potion.
Yeah.
Oh, no sea potion. It's like, oh, wow.
Unseeable potion.
It has a logo of John Cena going like,
This bottle is empty.
Oh,
This
no.
bottle is empty.
This will come in handy.
This is great.
What does Octavio? Does Octavio say anything or?
Yeah, well, he's thanks, Swift.
If
Are you sure you don't need it?
Oh, out of all of us, I'm good.
please do not give him
The what?
the
You see
I
Swift like genuinely laugh in this moment. No.
I know you are. I don't know if afraid is the right word, but maybe it is to use your magic right now. So if you find yourself in danger, this might come in handy.
Swift, Octavia is looking down at the bottle without meeting Swift's eyes, and he just quietly says, "Thank you." Puts it away.
Beery walks up and just like, that will not protect you from an avalanche, though. I just want to clarify. By the
You're
way,
so fucking omniscient about everything that happens.
by the way, Octavio, I found you some fancy cheese. Here you go, and I chuck him the goat cheese.
Goat cheese. Thank you. Well, I feel so loved today.
the aroma.
I do-
It's an aroma.
Frozen up here, you like can't really smell anything except cold
No.
air.
You need to warm it up a little bit.
Smell it.
Is the captain still like standing like next to the body on silence?
Yeah, you see he's kneeling like next to it, and he's kind of like got like his hand, like both of his hands on it in kind of a weird way, like resting on the crystal ball on top.
Oh.
I wanna go up to the Cairn and just bow my head a little bit, stand next to the captain, and just say to him, "What we once enjoyed and deeply loved, we can never lose. For all that we love deeply becomes part of us." And put my hand on his shoulder.
Did you just quote Dumbledore?
No, that's Helen Keller.
Oh, okay.
Just
Wow, that's even worse.
Did
Send me-
Dumbledore quote Helen Keller?
Send me to literary hell right now, because I feel like I'm there.
that is a very in character line for Barry. Dumbledore, right? Oh, Helen Keller.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Same
the world
thing.
famous poet Helen Keller. You see,
Good
you
Lord.
The shame and blushing I feel is very deep right now. I am very flushed. I'm gonna go just die in the corner now. Oh wait.
you see. Okay, so roll me before you say this though. Before you say this beautiful, touching thing misquoted by Dumbledore.
Michael Scott.
Mistakenly attributed to.
I have to leave.
roll me a perception. We can take a break after this.
No, I'm
roll
kidding.
roll me a perception check. Just Octavia.
Oh boy.
He's got a knife.
Dude.
Never mind.
He's got a knife.
Nah.
He killed himself.
No, he doesn't. But he just after you say that, you put your hand on his shoulder and you say, "Ow! I put my hand in the mimic chest and I got stabbed by a tooth."
You gotta keep it closed at all times, just in
I
case.
know. Like, keep it well fed. There's plenty of dice on it. Anyway,
At least I do
But-
something right.
but you say these things, and the captain just kind of like, you see him just turn his head in acknowledgement, and you see him like stop for a second, like as if he's just trying to say, like, think of something, and then he just nods and then just goes back to what he was currently doing at the cairn.
Okay.
I think Swift at this point is asking Garrett.
What's the Garrett?
So
Innocuous.
you know where they were trying to go, right? Where their ultimate destination was?
Supposedly it was the top. Supposedly it was here, near the peak of the summit. I don't know what they planned on finding, but I mean, we made about this far. We made camp, and then that's when the Yetis attacked.
You were attacked before you could do anything else.
Do you say Yetis with an S?
Yeti.
As far as we know, or at least the tracks that we followed, there was only one. But
Right, but he said Yetis.
I mean, he's also like kind of not just.
I don't know. Like Octavio literally says that. He says, "Did you say Yetis with an S?"
Yeah, it's more fun.
What? No.
Well, that's and then he goes, "That's when the Yeti or Yetis." Looks at Octavio real quick. Got us. I didn't really get a good look at it. There was blood and carnage, and things went south real quick.
Well, which way is it to the summit of this lesser peak?
To the summit?
Of this one, not the full cairn. Where they were trying to go.
As far as I understood, this was where they were going to go.
This was the ultimate destination.
Well, there's
Here.
nothing here. I mean, there's a ridge down this way that I saw last night, but we haven't gone down there to check.
Well, then maybe that was it. But when they got to this point, they were talking about, oh, we finally made it, and yada yada, and they were happy to set up camp, but they worked tirelessly up until this point.
Very well.
So
I think that's the best option we have to start.
Yeah, we should go look around.
Let's go.
Yeah. Before we leave, I do want to go over the torn up tents one last time and see if there was anything else we could salvage from there, since apparently we didn't really search them.
No, we did. We just sucked.
No, that was what you found, was the goat cheese and empty wineskin.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if there was anything else laying around that we ignored.
No.
Oh yeah, there's just a chest full of gold that if we had rolled well enough, we would have found. But
I
It's
know.
massive. It's like poking out of the snow, but we missed
It's just there, ready to crash the entire economy again.
Half open, content spilling out, and whatever.
and all of it is like, I just don't see it.
None of it's frozen. It's just
Where
like
is it?
looks great.
You trip over the chest looking for it. I just can't.
Oh,
I
God,
don't know where it's at.
who put this rock here?
No, but there's surprisingly bereft of equipment aside from that.
Okay.
Then I guess we just try and go start exploring this ridge, right?
hmm
It led up or down? Remind me.
It led down.
Okay. Well, there's really not
Seems-
a whole lot of ways to go up from where we are right now, right?
No,
Okay.
it's from what Garrett has told you in the past, and he'll remind you now, is that like no one has actually reached the summit of Kelvin's Cairn. Like, it just becomes not impossible, but very incredibly dangerous terrain. Like, it's just don't. We haven't had the
Getting up here
technology.
was such a cakewalk, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
But yeah, so then Swift starts kind of just like leading the way then, I guess.
Okay. All right. I will need to see a survival check.
Do we want to?
Swift?
Do I want to give Garrett advantage? I guess
Okay, so you want Garrett to lead the?
he was so good at it.
I thought you guys were tag teaming it.
Yeah.
He was very good. He actually rolled incredibly well for his first survival
Oh,
check, and he rolled good again. So
Yeah.
he
Especially
is
if I give him
about-
advantage with his.
Well, I mean, if you give him advantage, just an extra point because
Yeah.
I rolled a 17 and an 18. So
Cool.
Swift, do you want to roll for perception as we are hiking along this ridge line?
Just to like look out for anything while we're.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can do that.
I would imagine you would stay like pretty. You'd stay frosty.
Ah,
Well, I got a 9.
Not so frosty.
For
Those
For
rolls are
Howard's
scary.
benefit, I'm subtracting 2 since his mountain is a separate type of terrain.
Oh yes. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
It is not my favorite terrain. The Arctic is, but the mountains are not.
thank you.
Swift
level
did not
6.
sleep well last night.
At level 6, though, they will be.
Ooh.
You'll
And
have
we'll
like
never-
twice-
We will never see a mountain again.
We'll
It'll be
never
nothing
get
but
to-
caverns.
It's true.
Right when level 6 happens,
I was debating-
We'll open up and you'll go into the Underdark. So
I was debating actually mountain or underdark.
You'll be like, haha, joke's on
Because
you.
I feel like at this
I'm
point we're
prepared.
just as likely to go to either of them.
I mean, just pick me the one you want. We'll just go in the other directions.
I'll have a +7 no matter what. So.
All right, so maybe you didn't sleep that well, Swift, because you're not very good at perceiving. Octavio is
Yeah.
loudly singing the final rendition of the mountain song. It is awful.
Or you put your tent next to Octavio's and he kicked you through the tent the entire night.
Yes.
It's funny, the alternative was a fucking 26.
Oh well. But the ridge does. The odd thing is that on the way up here, the steps were unnatural. Naturally unnatural. Like it wasn't like there was like an escalator leading up here. But the weird thing about this is that the trek here to where you're going, it's not perilous, but it doesn't also seem to be man-made either. Like it just
Seems like it's a little more cut out than.
yeah, like a natural trail that might or might not have been used.
I don't know why I keep rolling in these situations. My passive perception is a 17 here. I should just-
So, but
I better
What?
by not rolling.
Always trust your intuition. Always.
Yeah.
but the trail leads into a small cavern. And the lights obviously go out because it's dark. Torches and lanterns are lit. Garrett needs a torch because he's a filthy fucking human.
We're about half and half in this group right now.
Yeah, I was like,
Howard-
I need a bullseye lantern because I'm.
How
Blood
are
clot.
that comment?
Next character, definitely human.
Always
But
human.
all
we
be
got
wrong.
2 tieflings and a shifter, so.
I mean, we had this
I'll be
discussion
right back.
about humans. Anyways,
That's
but the cave, it continues on, and the cave begins to coil downwards.
to like the heart of the mountain, kind of.
Not quite. I would say more like the liver.
The gallbladder of the mountain. Got it.
All right.
But well,
The
I mean,
appendix.
just give an idea of like where it is actually at. Like you're not going into the mountain; it's like off and to the side. But it winds down, and there's a moment where you come across a chasm where the inner mountain wall like arches over you, but below is a chasm that is so far down that even with your amazing dark vision, you can't see the bottom of it. And Garrett talks about how he's never been here before.
Oh, good.
It doesn't look like how there's no landmarks, there's no like posts or marks or any of that in any kind. But the chasm opens up, and I don't have a map for this, so I just had to use artwork. So just ignore the vegetation on the artwork. But the chasm does open up into a into a cliffside plateau that overlooks the other side of Kelvin's Cairn. Like the side that the map you see right now is facing 10 towns, but this one faces like the raw tundra of the rest of Icewind Dale. It looks a little something like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
spooky. Okay.
Ooh. Play the spooky part song.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
This feels like it could be a ruin in that one section of Elden Ring that I haven't been to.
No, I don't know. This totally isn't a screenshot from my PS4. But no. But you see that this area, like there is where the runes start. Everything has been laid with brick. Not like the ledge itself is made of brick, but it's been not made but laid with brick. And you see it does have like the natural cut of the cliffside and stuff. But there is the remains of something here.
How far away are we from it now?
The chasm opened up about weird to kind of spitball it. I would say probably about 300 feet away from it.
Okay. Are we going to continue approaching it?
Well, there remains there, right? You
Wait.
said.
Well,
Did
it's
you
like
say-
the remains of a ruin, not like
Oh,
bodies.
sorry. I heard
Yeah.
the word remains, and I was like, bodies?
Gotta be
Oh.
bodies.
Bodies?
All right.
I mean, this is like the actual built thing. I think that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At this point, I think I want to look back at the captain
Oh,
and
no.
kind of at what.
battle lines. I forgot to take those out because this is a splash screen. My bad.
They just showed up for me. I don't.
Yeah, actually, same.
Because I forgot to put it on the map layer. That's why I pulled it up.
Yeah, I kind of looked back at the captain and I'm like, do you know anything about this?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
It just gives you a look of like a mixture of like exhaustion and incredulity. Like,
The fuck would I know?
yeah.
I've never
But the
been here
captain would-
before.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Been so
I'm not
nice to the
omniscient.
captain. Laid his friends with benefits to rest. Damn. All right, whatever. As we continue approaching, when we get to about like 60 feet away, I would like to cast a Divine Sense to see if I notice anything. What is it? Celestial fiend or undead in the area.
Let me see exactly what divine sense else can do.
Love the example for a specific undead that they always give in the spell. Or the description is Count Strahd von Zarovich.
Of course. Of
so
course.
you don't-
Strahd is
you-
not here.
Yeah, just so you know,
This,
Strahd
this is not. Yeah, no. Strahd's
You
not vacationing in Icewind Dale.
you
this is
detect
my
Strahd von
paladin
Zarovich.
ability. My paladin
Um,
ability, Strahd sense.
What you? Okay, so you do your divine sense. Thankfully, you do not detect any celestial fiend or undead. But what you do detect, like emanating, like a faint odor from the brickwork, is a ancient and incredibly faded sense of desecration.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I just kind of, I don't know, as we're walking along and approaching this thing, I kind of say, like, something horrendous happened here. And continue walking into the ruins, I guess.
Wait, if something horrendous happened, why are we going in?
Great question.
Because we're looking for something powerful, you know?
Because you're adventurers and that's what you do.
Yeah, get with the program, Octavio.
There's something up here.
The voice of God said it.
But God, what?
Oh, Beery tries to investigate but stumbles.
Oh shit.
Jesus Christ, what is happening in this scene?
I don't
Well,
This is
know.
not-
To be fair, she has a +0, so it's,
Yeah.
I know, but what is the highest roll we've had? Okay,
Like
okay, we had a
13.
like 17.
No.
Swift's been doing fine. Everyone
Yeah.
else, not so much.
So
Swift rolled a 17 one time.
That's what. Yeah.
And a 27, so I don't want to hear it. Or 22.
Swift rolled a
that was the
17 for
advantage.
perception, and that was it.
I
Oh,
don't
it's a-
want to hear it.
I
you guys
will.
are
All
rolling.
right.
You guys are rolling just fine.
I guess Swift isn't necessarily looking like investigating. I think Swift is looking to see if anyone has like been here, like if there's a presence, or like if anyone just looking to see if anything is here, you know, like
Okay.
creature wise or anything like that.
Can I do an investigation check?
Sure. Anyone that wants to can.
I guess I'm doing more of a perception check, I would think.
Yeah. Ooh, Octavio.
That's
If
pretty
you
good.
want to do a perception check, that's fine too. So
Well,
what?
it can't be okay, yeah, 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw
Okay.
the one come up and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
So
I'm like, well, at least it has to be better than that.
what Swift's perception check notices is that the snowfall here has been untouched, and you look amongst the brickwork and you don't see any footprints or anything like that. What Octavia's investigation check shows is that the snow has been untouched by anything. It's like as if this place has just been cut off from the rest of the natural world. Like there's no like talon prints from birds, there's no hoof prints from the mountain climbing goats that you guys saw earlier, there's not even yeti prints. Like this is just
Everything is voiding this place.
maybe
Hmm.
perhaps.
Guys, I really
Perhaps.
don't want to be here right now.
But until we find what we're looking for, I don't know that we have much of a choice.
Octavia's
Gonna
getting
be
the
honest.
blue.
I'm gonna be honest, Swift. I don't think anything is supposed to be here.
Well, it seems like the perfect place to hide the powerful artifact or whatever it is this entire thing is up here.
That's a fair point. And I continue just kind of poking around, not like breaking anything. I just am.
Well, it doesn't. The brickwork is so old that like you place your hand on one of the walls and a loose brick just kind of tumbles and like the wall like slightly collapses, like 3 or 4 bricks.
Ooh.
You know, like the like the work itself. Like these bricks are only being held together by their own gravity at this point.
I will
And-
look around
Okay.
as well. No, I won't. Okay.
Hey Octavio, what was that song you were singing on the way up here? It was pretty good. But
This is the mountain song. I'm really, really cold.
it's not very long and it's done.
That's
Anyways, but you also notice that the brick has been like almost polished smooth by what you imagine is like just nature, like wind and grit and erosion. Like these bricks have been here for a long time. It's an old spooky place.
Okay.
Can I ask? I'm just gonna ask Garrett. Like, hey, do you know anything about this? Any legends or mythology? Something? Anything?
Mountain stuff.
I know I'm getting a real bad vibe from this place.
Me
But-
too.
This has not shown up in any mountaineer journals or anything like that. We might be the first people here to find it. He says in a manner that suggests they don't want to find it.
Nobody should know this is.
Well, congratulations, Garrett. Looks like you get to name this after yourself. Garrett's ruins. Good for you, bud. And I'm gonna just kind of like, can I go over here? And is this like, can I go investigate this little tower? I just want to see if there's any writing on anything.
There is something. There you see bits and pieces of what hasn't been eroded away by time. You do see that there are faint letters of what language you can't possibly begin to tell. It's something you definitely don't know.
Hey, Octavio. You know letters, right?
Yes.
All
I've seen
right.
a couple.
Can you come look at these letters and tell me if you know what they say?
Sure.
What languages do you know, Octavio?
I know Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, and Infernal.
I know giant. And common and dwarvish.
Wait, you know Infernal?
Yeah.
That's inherent to being a tiefling.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, like my grandma taught me.
She always loved to talk in Infernal.
Eyes rolled
Sweet
back.
grammar.
Speaking in backwards Latin. Let me see.
I'm staring intensely at the letters.
Eyeballs up against it. So you can actually make out some of it.
Ooh.
It is an Infernal.
Oh.
But it's like ancient Infernal, like what
Old
the
English.
like what the equivalent of like 7th century English would be to us. But you can only make out. Sorry, you can only make out like bits and pieces. Like there's not like actual full words, but you can make out letters and stuff. But nothing that can really make a cohesive sentence.
It's like, well, this is infernal writing, but it doesn't say anything. It's just a bunch of letters.
Huh.
Can I do a roll to see if I can put it together like Rain Man or something?
If you know anything in your histories about infernal creatures coming to Icewind Dale.
Yeah, if you want me to roll me a history or an intelligence check.
Ooh.
History 3.
Roll high.
No.
Oh. Well,
Never mind.
Yep, that's Infernal. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
great.
I
Yeah,
I wish I had an advantage on that.
Yeah, like you're trying to like piece it together, and just, but it's like there'll be like the letter like A over here, then the letter X way over here, and it's just like there's not enough, like things are too worn down to really put together anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not providing you enough context.
But
you
Get it.
But the letters have been like rubbed smooth. Like you could tell at one point they were etched in deep, but they're now almost worn out themselves.
So have we at this point have we gone inside like the ruins at this point, or are we just kind of skirting them?
Oh, I thought I said I went inside of them.
I'm just
Okay.
clarifying. I'm just clarifying.
Okay.
Oh,
so
okay,
very good.
yeah. I said that after I, sniffed around Divine Sense that I walked in there.
Okay, so what Barry finds is Barry, what's your AC? No, I'm kidding.
I
enough.
didn't even think twice, and then I was like, oh god, wait.
Oh, sure. You're right. It's wait a minute.
We're about to add
Wait a
another
second.
Beery. We're not to add another Beery died here to the map.
Just keep those handy.
So what? All right. So like around this area here, you can see there used to be like some kind of walkway going around this wall. When you clear around the wall, what you see is the remnants of some kind of stone structure. But there are deep gouges emanating from it. And within are the remains, this time Swift, of a person within the stone structure.
How long dead are we talking? Like skeletal remains?
Like a skeleton. Like there's not even clothes. Like just a full skeleton. But what is most shocking about it is that there was the remnants of the stone structure, and it looks like a point of impact. And there's just like gouges spreading around from that area, but the skeleton inside is perfectly intact, and you can see that they've been laid down in like a traditional like burial pose.
Fascinating.
But their hands are clasped over their chest, and you can see that the knuckles were locked over something that is now no longer there.
Oh, something got taken from here. Okay.
Oh.
Based on the way that the knuckles were like locked over it, could we like try and guess what they might have been holding? Like if it was something small or if it was like the hilt of something.
To your horror, Swift, you surmise it was a book. No. Yeah, you see they're not like the hands are like this, like over their chest, and you see that they're just kind of
like something was just kind of like resting underneath them.
Yeah, like they, but the hands weren't too far off from above where their chest was.
So it was something.
Whatever it was.
So it might have been a book.
Something flat but small. Like it wasn't
some kind of amulet.
A tablet, almost.
A tablet. Yeah, we're not going to be able to tell for sure, but we know roughly what type of thing it was.
Yeah, what shakes you up the most is that everything around it is blasted and destroyed, but
like almost like this was put here after the fact,
or something destroyed the structure with extreme precision, so as to not obliterate the body within.
It's difficult to. Is it possible to tell which of those it is?
Can I investigate the claws and see if I can see what the claw marks?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he didn't say they were claw marks. He said they were gouges.
Like the rocks are split, almost, right?
Oh.
Like extreme force, or it could have been claws, but like if it was enough to like cause deep gouges in like stone, claws is less likely.
They're not claws because they're not evenly spaced. It just looks like the gouges were created from whatever destroyed the structure.
Force of impact.
And it just blasted the stone out with so much force that it was able to, carve out the stone that it was also made out of.
Okay, Beer's getting like a strong dragon vibe here. Is there anything I can do to like dissuade this? Yeah, I'm getting like a big like this is something happened previously with dragons here, and
Divine sense does not pick up dragons. We've already established.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But also, they would have to be within 60 feet for it to pick up anyway. So
What's so short? Well, I thought it was longer.
No, I was wondering like, is there any way that I could just? I don't even know. Yeah, never mind. Continue investigating the body.
I do have a question, and I don't know if Swift would sort of turn to Gar. He's like, Gar, you have some medical knowledge. If we could figure out what type of creature is the skeleton? Does the skeleton belong to?
Oh, is it not humanoid, or is it like?
Well, we don't. It's just a skeleton. We didn't get like a. Is it?
Well, I mean, we can surmise it's a humanoid skeleton, but what kind of humanoid?
Like what was it?
Could make a what kind of check? Medicine check?
Yeah.
Yes.
You could do that. I'll give you assistance if you like to do it with advantage.
I would.
17.
Guard starts to take out like old-fashioned, like, the things like measure skulls and shit like that.
That's what I decided was important to bring up to a mountain.
I was kind of hoping you were gonna say like the glasses from Sleepy Hollow, like Johnny Depp's
like
multi lenses. Yeah, exactly.
You look at it and you can tell by the jaw and by the brow specifically and by like the pelvic bone and whatnot, that whatever this person was in their previous life, they were most definitely human.
Okay.
Like, there's no horns protruding from it. There's no like cat claws.
It's not a
The
massive
bones-
skeleton.
The
Like-
bones are not gigantic. You know,
Is there any indication
But-
of how long it's been here?
ages. Like you see Gar has to touch the bones very delicately, and because it's almost pulverized by the elements, but it's very like as he's going over the skull, like the finger kind of like collapses a little bit of it, like okay, you know, and it kind of has to like rethink his method a bit and go back over it.
I think Swift kind of stands up and says, well, if something was here, clearly there was something clasped with this skeleton. But it doesn't look like anyone has been here for quite some time. It's possible it's been gone for a very long time.
That's true.
The cab says, or maybe the rest of the party has it.
No, we didn't see any sign of anyone coming here. Is the problem?
Or going.
Or maybe the rest of the
I have it.
Swift just like sort of just to be thorough, kind of like tries to like push and see if there's like anything there. It's just invisible, maybe. Just like
what, on the body or
well, not on the body, but like, you know, where it's like you said there was like a space in between its like chest cavity and the hands. Just sort of like, kind of like, is there anything in there? If
Oh yeah, no, you're like no.
well, you
there's
never
nothing
know. It
there.
could have been invisible for some reason.
Oh no.
I mean, that's not the weirdest thing you've seen.
Is there anything else around the ruin? Like, we came down here, but is there anything else? Like, is there any other paths leading away from it, or
It seems unnatural the way the mountain wall is constructed. Like, it's just sheer. Like it's not like completely 90 degrees, but it's damn near close. And you look and you see like, oh well, maybe I don't know, maybe if I had wings I could probably reach that ledge over there. But you see that it is like completely like whatever this area was constructed for, it was meant to be the focal point of this part of the mountain.
it's too bad we're level 3. Well, actually, no. Paladins don't even get level 3 spells until much
Is
later
there anything
anyway.
else worth looking at here, or is that it? Just what's
It's
in the
been-
mill?
It's pretty bare, but aside from the infernal scribblings and the impacted stone structure, that's pretty much it. It's amazingly bare.
I think we just have to go find the other members of the expedition.
Yeah, that's what I agree with God. I think we need to go back and try and figure out what happened to them. Because clearly they have not come here.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever was here is long gone.
Definitely.
Okay.
Do we want to investigate like any? I mean, do we want to investigate that wall?
I don't think there's anything else to investigate.
Yeah, you're right.
Because we've all already investigated the ruins. We've all already investigated the body. Like,
I know. I'm just sitting here like, are we missing a switch somewhere?
I mean, it's not a video game. We don't find it. It's just kind of how it works sometimes.
What's it, the LA Noir? Your investigation is complete. Music plays. Like, oh, okay, we found all the clues.
Except in D&D, sometimes you don't find any clues.
I know, but
Yeah.
where's like the cat with the radiant light above it to lead us to where we need to be right now? Just so sure.
Is there? I guess.
Oh
one-
wait.
I guess there is one question. I guess it's just, is it just a skeleton? Are they like dressed in anything? Are they like wearing any sort of like garb or
There might have been
long,
fragments
like
of
rotted
clothing.
away?
It's long since gone.
Okay. That was the only other thing I could think of. They had any sort of like indicating marks about them.
Jose, you're going to be upset with me, and I'm really sorry about this, but I have to delete your Starry Night drawing because I can't move the tokens without it. Because for whatever reason, every time I try to move the tokens,
you're also going to need to delete each and every single one of those white dots individually.
Just get on it.
So yeah, I guess we go back up through the cave, back up the ridge,
Find the rest of them.
and then follow off to that other ridge where we found the followed the boot prints to, right? And we found the Yeti track.
Yeah, before we go, I don't even know. I have a tinder box. I'm actually gonna leave a dagger in the corpse's hands and say a prayer to Tempest, I guess.
Are you gonna try to consecrate the land?
I don't think I know how to do that at this point.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna say a prayer and tell the corpse that it's for their ongoing journey.
Okay.
I don't know. All I have is a
little
holy
bit.
symbol at this point. I'm just like,
There is a spell for that, but I don't. It's
No, I don't
definitely
know
not a
yet.
first level spell.
No.
no.
Okay. So you say your prayer to Tempest. The feeling of desecration might or might not ease up on you. That might just be like a placebo thing because you said like stuff like you may have just put you at ease, or maybe it didn't. Who's to tell?
Maybe it just put me in danger. Who knows?
Maybe it did. What's your passive perception?
Low.
My
Like,
passive perception is 17.
mine is
Yeah,
10. Hilariously low.
This is all we feel. It's oh god, come on, go in there.
Something bad happened. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I don't know what, but something bad happened.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of say my prayer to Tempest and say I don't know what happened here, but may this help you in your journey, and then I scamper the fuck out of there.
Yeah, Gar's already on his
Yeah.
way out.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
It's at like at first it's like walking away from a dark hallway after you turn off all the lights and you're going to bed. You're like,
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's done this. Okay.
Oh, sure.
I'm glad to hear it from adult men. I'm like, all right.
Whenever I go to turn off all the lights, I'm always like, and then run towards the
I have little night lights around the house, okay, for reasons.
Don't feel bad.
Do we want to take a break? Seems like a good break point.
Yeah.
Once
Clover
we get away
says
from.
it's
Oh
time.
yes.
Yeah, like as we're
okay.
traveling back to the.
Okay, hold on. Do you want me to roll a nature or a survival check for the guide to see if he can lead you back to the camp?
give him advantage as I assist.
Okay.
And we're wanderers, so we can never be
I guess-
lost.
This time, Swift is just like letting passive perception roll in terms of like just kind of like keeping an eye out for anything they might have missed on the way down, because things look
Okay.
different on the way back up.
Yeah, because the trail is so unnaturally cut off from the rest of anything, like a natural path leading out from it, finding your way back to the camp is an easy feat, especially for Garrett. So you do manage to find your way back to the Crystal Cairn that y'all constructed for Asterix, and now we can take a break.
Okay.
The Crystal Ball Cairn next to Asterix, that dude with the blue boots still just open air.
Yeah,
I was gonna get him on the descent, so I'll take care of that. In a
No,
bit.
he's
not
a
as cool,
landmark.
though, it's
He's a
fine.
landmark at this point.
It's a
Yeah.
landmark. Yeah, you can't mess with
I
it.
Yeah.
You're not
can't.
gonna get lost if you mess with
People
it.
I
don't
can't-
know about the Crystal Ball Cairn.
I'll
They know
leave
about
the
blue
blue boots out, I guess, but at least
You can't touch blue. It's literally a landmark. You can't touch blue boots. Garrett gets upset at the thought.
But
of-
what if
Okay,
I
what if
build
I
a
leave
cairn?
the feet out? What if I build the cairn around him and I leave the out? Is that a
They
compromise?
just
can take
sticking
the-
out of the
They
cairn.
can just take the boots. Why don't you just take the
They
boots?
haven't
What was
taken the
stopping them from
boots
taking
yet.
the boots already? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm playing the waiting music.
Break time. All right.
We turn that down a little bit, and thank you everybody who's joined us so far. We will be right back with more Rime of the Frostmaiden. While we take this quick little 10-minute break, please look at the artwork on this side. Oh, I just noticed that my camera here is kind of messed up. It's weird. Let's push this up. Oh, nope. Take a look at the art here on the right side. Yes, the right side of the screen. These are some of the artists that we've used their art for our tokens. 2 of them we commissioned to make it. Please go share the love, give them a like, follow them. They're amazing artists, all of them. Also, if you've enjoyed the music that Andrew has put together for this campaign and want to use it in your own games, check out the 2 QR codes at the bottom, Ambient Playlist and Combat Playlist, as he gracefully has put it together on Spotify for you guys to use. But with that, we'll be back in just under 9 minutes. So, see you soon.
for fucking chumps. Those things are way better.
But Oreo thin?
Oh yeah, the thin Oreos are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You don't like the double ultra stuffed?
you haven't really tried
Yeah.
Oreos until you had the strawberry lemonade Oreo.
What?
Yeah, no.
I don't.
I'm
want
literally
that.
really
sitting
like
here
the,
like I'm literally grocery shopping right now. So
The winter, like the peppermint JoJo's are the best ones. Not even close.
I will have to get those.
Because they put like broken up candy cane like embedded in the chocolate coating.
Magical.
The thing that what got me, because like what's it? I have a coworker who's like goes to Trader Joe's all the time, so I'll just give her money, be like, hey, pick me up, whatever. And she was like, oh yeah, it's actually vanilla cream and blah blah. I'm like, oh really? Okay. But what actually threw me off was how good the chocolate part was. Like, this is actual chocolate. Like, this isn't some synthetic vegan wafer crap. Like, this is like real chocolate. So, all right, I guess we'll just get started. All right, you guys are back at the Crystal Cairn. I'm going to put on some non-spooky music because we had a spooky part. So now we're past the
It was
spooky
just
area.
eerie. It was unsettling.
yeah, it wasn't even like spooky.
Well, that's
was
the
a-
best kind of like
Say.
atmosphere. It's just like something bad could happen. Let's leave
was-
before it does.
The battle music starts playing and you don't know why. Like, what did I trigger? Hold on.
What is our boss music?
It comes on for a little bit and then fades away, and then
Yeah.
comes back. It's like,
Fades away again.
The
You
quest is
step,
bugged.
you step a few feet forward and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna go back.
you hear the distance. You never should have come here as the Skyrim music starts playing.
Exactly.
Oh,
Quest
fucking
is bugged.
bandit! All right.
I'm not dealing with that right now. Going to the left.
So, all right. So you guys are back at the Crystal Cairn. The captain just got like he hasn't slept. He hasn't slept. Like I was gonna say he hasn't slept properly, but no, he just hasn't slept. He
So
just
he's full blown one level of exhaustion right now.
I mean
If he failed his con save.
he's on one, teetering on two at this point.
No.
But well, he's an NPC. NPCs don't get exhaustion. But no, he's tired. He's very tired.
Okay.
And so what are you guys going to do now that you're back at the camp?
Swift?
We were gonna, I think, follow back behind, like where we followed the boot trail
Okay.
to where we
Yeah.
found that Yeti print. See if there's any way we can go from there to like see what happened to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Because if we get back to the Yeti tracks, I could try and like follow the Yeti tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I will need to see a survival check to track now, not to trek, to track.
Cool. I could just roll. Oh, come on. My
you
rolls
want
are
Garrett
bad tonight.
Do you want Garrett to do the tracking
It's-
for you?
I mean, I already rolled.
Okay.
I just.
I mean,
Mm.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
We're not having.
It's just
we're not
an
having
off night.
It's one of those sessions.
Can
If he had assisted me, that's a 16. But
can when you don't find them, can you ask the guide
would-
to come and assist you?
I was gonna ask before I did this if anybody wanted to give me assistance so I could roll with advantage, and I decided not to.
Try again.
If it makes you feel better, Garrett rolled a 20. So
This
He
is
sees-
his domain. This isn't my domain.
yeah,
The dice are just reaffirming that.
Yeah, he picked mountain as his preferred terrain. All right. So he sees that we're He's like, it's okay.
I'm not used
I
to
know we're all-
tracking in
It's
level terrain,
it,
like tiered terrain.
it's fine. We're all a little shaken up. It's okay. It's all right. And he leads the charge. You see that the tracks begin to descend down almost adjacent to where you guys were ascending upwards, but then they begin to split off, and it follows a very narrow ridge that is only wide enough to have like a foot in front of the other. But the entire time, the Yeti tracks are still somewhat visible. Eventually, it leads to a sight that fills Barry with some kind of emotion. It leads to a cave.
Oh, great.
Another one.
Yeah.
A good time for me.
Yes. And so we begin within that cave. Let me put y'all over to the map. Give me just a second. The captain
To the
did
map.
not. The captain did not follow. By the way, he's like, I'll just stay here. And it was in such a tone that you didn't need an insight check to tell he wasn't lying. It's like
Does he at least have like a sleeping bag? I don't want him to freeze to death while we're gone.
he has sleeping gear, but he's just like, I'll just. And they're just kind of like.
Can I like half
mid-frame.
hide him behind a rock or something so Yeti doesn't just come up and like get a drive-through snack?
You just.
Yeah, I just like lift him like he's a little bindle and just put him behind a little rock wall.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just. Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's okay. You just set him down. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. So, all right. and okay, so the trail, the Yeti claws, they lead you to a cave. Let me bring you to
Fun.
that map. Give me a second. And will Barry die in this one? More than likely.
Probably.
Spooky.
I'm kind of counting on it. So,
Where's my lamp? Give me my bullseye lantern.
And Andrew's got it out for Beery.
I mean,
Blind. Next one to be deaf in here too. Helen
what?
Keller. What?
As you walk in, the wind is so strong your ears pop and you can't hear anything, Barry.
Fuck.
This is it's on 30 again for some reason.
Motherfucker, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Everyone gets lighting adjustments.
It happens every time too. I might just have to. I'll have to. Before next session, I'll have to figure something out. See why.
Well,
it's
it's
doing
probably.
that.
It seems it's that thing that you have to like undo the token and then do it like do the changes to the token and then link it back because it's saved the state of the token from the last time you linked it to the.
That's definitely got to be something I'm gonna have to do off camera.
No, do it right now and then share your screen so we can all see it.
No, I don't want to.
We want to watch you stumble.
No, please no.
Don't look at my shame.
Yeah. I don't want you guys to see what I can't see or don't know.
Don't know what's out there.
Yeah, please. Okay. Fucking bullseye lantern. Fucking bullshit bullseye lantern.
Ugh.
With its 60 feet of dim and 60 feet of bright. Just lighting
Jesus.
up everything.
Okay.
Wow, we all died.
Oh,
Oh, no.
it looks like it. I can see nothing.
You all died in the mountain. Okay.
Alright, looks like I can see further now.
Well, no, you can see berries. So, what's yours supposed to be, Swift? It's 90 or something?
90, yeah.
900? Got it. Okay.
Well, if you insist.
All right. We're playing one of those one of those
Well, it's like
Arcana classes.
there is like a there's a subclass that lets you see clearly, like out to a distance of a mile.
Jesus.
I think it's a barbarian subclass. I think it might be the totem druid.
Wow, on top of everything.
Yeah, it's the hawk aspect.
Yeah,
Eagle.
specifically.
Yeah, you can see out to a mile. Just
It's not the bear one, it's the hawk one. The one that nobody ever uses because the bear one's OP.
Gar, are you using a lantern?
Yep,
Okay.
a hooded
Just
lantern.
while we're here, do you want to turn your lantern on too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to do that.
Oh, hey. Hey, guys.
I can see.
Oh, wow. What the hell?
Oh, hold on. I forgot to put a cone on his, so he just for a second just like exploded with light. My bad.
So much light.
You didn't add it back yet, right?
Huh?
I still don't have a. Oh, there it goes. Now I have.
There it goes. Alright. Okay. Enough of that bullshit. Alright. Up ahead to your left is a 15-foot high, 10-foot wide cave mouth. There's blood on the snow some distance from the cave entrance.
Oh.
Followed by the unmistakable Yeti prints.
Yeti
Nice.
prints.
All right, so I'm gonna just scoop Octavio under my arm as I start casually walking into the cave.
I was
No,
like, I don't need you to pick me up.
no. I mean, like, I kind of strong arm, like, wrap my arm around you and start leading you in. And I'm just like, all right, Octavio.
letting me into the cave.
Yeah.
I'm-
Just
I-
like,
I-
okay, Octavio,
I
listen
just-
here. We're gonna deal with some Yetis. And I know you
No.
don't like using your pew-pews, but really, really need them.
I will use my knives.
If you're lucky, the Yeti prince will lead you to a Yeti princess.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, Octavio. They're
really lucky.
Do you
Shame
see
on
the
Shame on you.
their claws are as big as your knife is? So maybe some pew-pews. Great.
One finger is bigger than your knife, yeah.
Pretty much.
Just let me hand back.
You just,
But-
just hold Octavio's head against the claws, and it's like a perfect fit for the palm.
Look.
Octavio, I just saved your life. Okay, remember that thing with the avalanche? Yeah, just, you know, if I'm getting murdered, just make sure you pew-pew.
Okay, so we are going to go by dungeon. Just so you're aware, we are going to go by dungeon rules
Okay.
right now. So, okay.
I see. A split in the path.
Um,
Real
good adventures
adventures
always
go
go left.
left.
So we go right.
Alex and I have gone the wrong way on trails multiple times. Going with this rule, by the way. We have many assholes going the wrong.
I like how that rule has found its way to real life.
Oh, always like, oh, okay, left or right. Left,
I mean,
It doesn't matter which way you go as long as you commit.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
and we always do. No?
I have found in my personal experience the only place that actually works is Disney World because everyone naturally goes right. So if you go to the left, you can hit like Frontierland before anybody else does. So fuck
yeah.
yeah, haunted, no lines to the haunted mansion. Let's fucking go.
Just keep going. Tom Sawyer Island to myself. Let's go.
Oh god, what happened to Gar? Where's Gar?
Give me those
Oh,
fucking jelly
I'm
beans,
still here.
boy.
You were underneath me.
Oh, I can't
Alright.
see much. I'm just kind of like looking
Yeah.
around.
You
I
can't
see
really-
you.
And you can't really hear much. It's
Which way did we see the blood?
It's on the outside, so it would be like
Uh,
going like towards this way.
Is there like, does it lead like further in? Is there like a trail?
There are Yeti tracks leading in.
Oh,
There are
well.
there are a bunch of Yeti tracks leading in.
Swift,
Oh.
do you want to scout ahead?
Which way does the Yeti tracks go?
Every which way.
All the ways.
Oh, they're on the ceiling. Oh god.
Spider Yetis.
All right. Well, if
Oh,
you want me
no.
to track ahead, don't shine the light on me, please.
Oh, got it. Yep.
Don't shine the what?
Don't
What?
fucking shine the light on me, God.
Ah!
Okay, that
Oh
makes
god,
sense.
the blood! There's blood on the light.
Ah!
So I
Alright.
see sort of Is this like a dead end?
That is, in fact, a dead end.
Okay. And then
Or
there's,
no,
like...
actually, no. Oh, hold on. My apologies. This is the ridge. I was looking at the map wrong. This is the ridge, and this is the
so this is the
cave
actual
mouth
cave.
that's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess going into the cave, Swift will just making sure, please don't shine light on me. So there is this like a, is this ice or is this like a, what is this right here?
So let me move the blood accordingly. Ah, blood there. Okay, watch out.
Oh, the blood is here. Okay.
Yes. So what you see there before you, it is actually spanning this chasm that if you were to look down, Swift, specifically you can see the bottom of.
Oh.
But if Octavio to look down, cannot see the bottom of.
You don't want to fall down there.
What this looks like is that it looks like a thick shelf of ice has formed, bridging the gap of the chasm.
Okay, so it's traversable.
You might suspect that.
You could say that.
Cool. So if we put on like our little crampons, we could probably get across that, no problem.
Yeah,
So then,
baby. The lighter ones.
so it seems like there's like a bridge going off over in this direction.
I'm like looking the other way so my light doesn't get on you. I'm like, I'm not
I
looking.
know.
So there's like a bridge over in this way.
Yes.
Cool. So
Yeah, this is
obviously Swift is. I don't need to double and check this, but Swift is being stealthy. Swift is being quiet.
Okay. As you make your way into the cave, you hear a rather strange noise. It's a weird squabbling noise, followed by what can only be described as loud sobbing.
Sobbing?
Sobbing.
Nope.
Like
I turn
human
back real
sobbing?
quick.
What does it?
Sobbing.
What does it sound like to Swift? Does Swift like recognize it at all? Is it something Swift's heard before?
Oh. The squabbling noise you're not entirely sure of, but the sobbing noise sounds human. Or humanoid at least.
Humanoid. Well, we know there was a Goliath and a halfling. What direction is it coming from?
I'll be so ashamed of that Goliath.
It just seems to be like echoing from the depths of
Like at the
cave.
bottom of the cave, maybe?
No, it's not coming from the chasm,
Okay.
but it
So
seems
it's
to be
difficult to
coming from
tell. It's like echoing.
further in. Yeah.
Okay, so Swift is gonna try
But you'll
and
hear like a little like noise, and then followed by like sobbing.
Swift is gonna across this bridge really quick.
Watch out, Swift!
There are bones. Bones.
I step in just enough so I can keep an eye on Swift.
You can't see me either.
Yeah.
Oh, Swift disappear, guys! Then I rush in. No, I'm just kidding.
Swift is gone.
I feel like Octavia would just cover for themselves at that moment, just like, no, they're fine, yeah.
What you see, Swift, is that you see bones of multiple things that were alive at one point,
I would assume so. Yes.
but now they are not.
They've always been dead, actually. I was dead when I was born.
as bones are wont to be. But what
They're just bones. They've been here since the beginning of time.
No, these bones have not been here very long. Because what digs at you the most is that the flesh still clings to some of these bones, and you see
Okay.
that there are niches, like crudely carved into the wall, and within these niches are skulls and separate forms of decaying putrefaction. What's the proper term I'm looking for here?
I mean,
But it's like
Mummified?
it's like a gradient. No, it's definitely not mummified.
I was
But
gonna
it's like
say decay is unlikely as well because of how cold it is. But
Yeah. I'm imagining mummification since it's like the hyper cold.
And you see that there is
Putrescence.
one, I guess. There is one in particular. Hold on, let's see. One in particular that you look at, it is a dwarf skull. And you figure, oh, that's what happened to that battle hammer dwarf.
Oh, the one that
yeah.
right, because a Yeti attacked the
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
right.
Was
Because they
there
came
a
out of.
reward?
Oh, we already got that reward. It was 11.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we weren't trying to find that guy. We were trying to find the iron.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
they
they
didn't
gotta
care
be
about
careful.
killing the Yeti? Okay.
yeah, who cares about that guy? Fuck him.
No, I mean that guy's dead. He's not getting any deader. That's the
Back to work.
so. But they came out of the Dwarven Valley, which is alongside Kelvin's Cairn.
yeah, it's not too far from Kelvin.
So it's not surprising that they got attacked leaving. By the Yeti, like ranges pretty far. If that's the case.
Well, you have to remember the thing that really got to you was that, or got to the rest of the group too, especially if you're native to Icewind Dale, was that where the Yeti attacked was dangerously close to town.
Yeah, which is unusual because we would have expected if it was going to be a Yeti attack, it probably would have happened closer to the Dwarven Valley.
Yeah, it's almost like as if like shit's going down hills and everybody's getting affected by it.
So something has caused it to go down that far.
Squabbling noise. Yeah,
Okay,
the
So
squabbling noise followed by the sobs get louder as you make your way down there.
this way. Okay, let's switch.
Should we stay back still, just in case?
Yeah, I'm staying
I'm
back
doing
until Swift
reconnaissance.
reports back.
Gotcha.
So I think Swift is gonna just step around the bones gingerly, and attempt to sort of like look around this corner here.
Okay. The sounds reach a peak, and as you round the corner, you see signs of life.
Oh God, what's happening?
What was that? One more time.
I said, what's happening here?
Well, are you going to be looking in on what's happening?
Yeah, I'm looking in.
Okay, are you going to do it stealthily, or are you just going to look?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm doing this stealthily. Absolutely.
Alright, let me see a stealth check. Alright.
24.
Okay. Perfect. What you see is, it looks like a Yeti,
What am I looking at?
but tiny.
I see that. What is this other thing that I'm looking at?
But that's just some weird artwork. Don't worry about it. It's an NPC token.
Okay.
But you see this little Yeti, and it's like kind of like bouncing around this person that is curled up in a fetal position, and the Yeti will like bounce from here to there, and then will like smack the person, and the person will roll like a ball, and you hear as they're rolling.
Oh
like
my
like manic sobbing, and and you hear like the squabbling noises as the Yeti like ooh like follows it and then pushes it again and rolls the person around.
Okay.
So you found baby. Where's Mama?
I'm concerned about the person that's here because they're
Where
alive.
Where is Mama?
Hmm.
So, is Octavio following me this far?
Has Octavia followed you? Yes.
You still can't see me, I will.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep pace.
What does the person look like? I know they're like curled in a ball right now, but what are they? What's the striking feature? How big are they? How small are they?
They seem pretty tiny. Tiny enough that
Are they
whatever
halfling?
It's very clearly a halfling.
Okay.
It's a wee little halfling ball that this Yeti tyke is knocking around.
So this person is. In Swift's mind's like, okay, a halfling. That's probably. Let's see, what was the name? Paraloop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I can't see anything else in this room. It just seems like this is like a dead end.
From where you're at, yeah.
Okay. Swift turns around and sort of like heads back in this direction. And just like runs into Octavia and is like, oh, shit, what are you doing? I'm doing reconnaissance. What are you doing?
Me too.
I was trying to keep an eye on you, but I couldn't see you. I'm so glad you're back.
Swift has a lighter on for some reason, despite the fact that
No, you just hear Swift's voice like out of the darknocus. You can't see anything, which is
Oh, no,
weird
sorry.
because you have dark vision.
Octavio has a lighter on, despite the fact they have
It's like-
dark vision.
Octavio, just go, just go back.
Okay.
Going back. We found the thing. Hold on. And we both just like come back
Found the
outside.
thing.
And Swift like comes back out of the cave, and says, "Okay, so there is a small yeti, a baby, and I found the halfling. The
Alright.
halfling is alive. Currently, probably being traumatized.
So what about Makingo? That was the name of the Goliath, by the way.
Yeah, Makingo, Growling Bear, Akhenathi.
Yes,
Wow, what a
that
name.
one.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, but Garrett asked, but what of Makingo?
I did not see him, however. There's blood at the entrance. He was apparently fighting the Yeti. I didn't see the big Yeti, but there's another direction I could have gone. So
when you say I didn't see the big Yeti, Garrett immediately like looks over his shoulder.
Yeah,
just in case, like, the
Beery's-
Yeti is just like
Lantern
Like-
swings wildly around, just like, what? Okay,
Oh.
all right.
I don't know a
Alright.
whole lot about Yeti behavior. It did not look like the halfling was being physically injured. I'm sure there will be some deep emotional scars. However, they are not dead currently.
cannot say the same about their emotional well-being.
I cannot say anything about their emotional well-being, but if they're from Icewind Dale, they better be tough because this shit happens. Sometimes you
listen.
get treated like a living ball by a baby.
All these soft Zentarans they sent out here.
Yeah, there was a lot of sobbing.
Oh, like Yeti soccer happens on a nightly basis.
Sure,
I mean, not
For
that, but
Beery,
like,
yes.
I mean, it's better than being Yeti food. Like, I guess Swift is just confused as to why the halfling is still alive. I'm like, Swift is sort of speculating at this point. It's just like, my thought would be that perhaps the Yeti has not found the halfling yet, because if it had, I imagine they would be very much dead.
So, what if we just go in there and we just pick the tyke up? He's probably gonna yell. Mom's gonna show up, and we kill it and get the halfling? What do we do with the tyke?
Well, there's another path I have not looked at yet. So,
You're gonna go do that?
I
Okay,
suppose
hold on.
I'm thinking
As
about
much as I've ever really wanted to, murder a yeti, I
it.
don't
A baby
know how
doesn't seem your speed.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't know how. Leaving an orphaned yeti out here.
Well, there's a problem, you know.
Guess you gotta
'cause
kill it too.
You know the
Orphan
dwarf.
Yeti's gonna grow up to be an adventurer.
You know
Saved Beery can't do it.
You know the Battlehammer dwarves that were delivering iron to Brenshander, the ones that we
Mhm.
ended up getting the iron back for. I found the head of one
Well,
of them
that's to be
on
expected.
a spike, which
Oh!
just confirms
No, it wasn't on a spike. It was like
on a bone spike.
No, it was
That's
in
quite
a divot in
decorative.
the
I'm
wall.
embellishing. Shh.
It had a sign that said
okay,
"Stay away,"
okay,
written in
okay.
Yeti.
Swift
that's
is like, I mean,
quite-
I found the body, or the head, which just confirms exactly what we were told, which the Yeti attacks that group that far away from the mountain. So something is happening here that is causing this disruption. I don't know what.
We can't. Swift, you can't speak to yetis, right?
No, I can't speak to Yeti.
Just double checking. You spent a lot of time in the mountains. Just
Yeah, I'm just on close personal basis with the Yeti of Kelvin's Cairn. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's offended.
Oh, we're getting sad.
Just give me a second. I'm going to just check down here really quick and see if I can't find the big Yeti. If not, I'll let you know. We can.
all
we
right.
can...
Yeah, you and the big yeti go chat. I'll be here. Tell me if I need to murder it.
Gar just Swift just like flips you a bird as he like walks. You can't see.
It's true. As soon as
I
you
can
go out of
sense
sight,
it. My divine sense senses that.
you get
My
right
design
past
fence-
the 30
my
feet.
divine
of the
sense
lens.
feels the desecration from the
You just hear Beery rude.
Swift like straps the crampons on to their boots and goes to walk across the icy surface.
That motherfucker. Okay, so
Yeah, because I remembered my crampons. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just you like flicking off the group on the way out. Just-
Oh no, just Beery specifically.
Okay, so as you make your
It's
way,
not like we have a
it's
druid with us that we could actually speak to animals.
it's
Is a Yeti an animal though?
No,
Does
I
it-
don't think they are. I don't think they're a beast.
Yeti's definitely not an animal.
I think they're a monstrosity, if anything.
Yeah.
I don't get to speak to
Yeah.
monstrosities till later, so.
So as you cross the ice shelf, you look down and you can see that in some parts you can actually see through the ice shelf. Not like because not like because there's holes in it, but because it's just like
Clear.
well
So
that
thin?
and it is quite thin. Like it's
Oh.
thick enough. It's thick enough to hold your weight.
Yeah.
But, like
Does it look
it's-
like it would be a problem if like Gar wanted to walk across it or something like
Yeah.
that?
if Gar wanted to walk across it, maybe.
Okay.
Like
Good to know.
it's not giving you any trouble. It's stable, but you can still see through it.
So I will make my way across to the other side, and there's a little thing here.
Mm-hmm. A small little tunnel leads further in
Quietly sneaking down the tunnel.
with naturally formed steps created.
Cool. So sort of. Oh,
And there you find Mama watching her
no.
little baby tyke watching her little Yeti tyke roll this halfling around.
oh
And-
boy.
You swear you hear small hoots of what might be amusement coming out of the Mama Yeti as it's
Oh, boy.
watching its little baby play with what is probably going to be its food.
Okay. I just want to take one more step to see if I can get a even clearer picture here. Oh yeah, that's. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at it.
I wish
That's
I
so
could.
funny to me. That's so funny to me because like where I was standing on the up like around the corner, this exactly was just cut off.
It was right out of your vision too. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go see if I can find the mama. Up there she is. It was right there.
Oh no.
Okay, well that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Is there anything else I can see in the room?
What you also see, that's an excellent question.
Just getting a lay of the land as I am scouting.
What if we call the mama out and then destroy that ice bridge?
I mean, there's a way through the other
I
side.
mean, with her on it, maybe?
Can a mom fit through the hole?
Maybe. She could
You
probably
don't-
squeeze through it.
What you do see is up against his wall is it looks like the remnants of some kind of equipment, just kind of scattered throughout.
I don't
Other
see
than
any
that,
sign of, like, Makingo, though.
You didn't know, or maybe you did already.
That's true. Didn't really stop to examine the remains. I didn't see a skull though, right? Like I didn't see a Goliath skull among the. It wouldn't have been as long dead as the other ones. So
You did. There were, like I said, there were several skulls. One of them might have been a Goliath, for all you know.
okay.
But there were several skulls
I
in
want
the
to
niches dug out in the wall.
take one more step out because I can see that there's like a little like sort of enclave just there. Would you like me to make another stealth check?
Yes, please.
Advantage. 20.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
It's an advantage because I'm invisible technically.
I definitely was like, oh, and mama attacks.
So this actually, this little slope here actually leads up. So
Right. So I'm
so
higher.
this-
I'm a higher.
No, you're lower where you're at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what you see is that you see the ledge above you about 10 feet or so high, and you just see the slumped shoulders of a adult Yeti. Just every now and then it's going as it's and you hear that squabbling / sobbing noise.
Internally, Swift is like, I've heard about playing with your food, but this is ridiculous.
What's the deal with Yetis?
Off in the
and
distance, you just hear.
But Swift sort of sees that this is just like a little like pocket in the wall, and just like, okay, so I'm just going to sneak back out across the ice bridge, just very, very quickly.
Nope, right out of there.
Okay, yeah, no, she's there actually. Nope, the big Yeti's there.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
So, how do we want to handle this?
Well, we don't know. So Swift goes over to Garrett and says, "Did you find anything after you got here? This was before the Yeti attacked, before you were able to."
A night's sleep? I can't. Okay, we made camp. Got attacked by a Yeti.
Okay, so
Like as we were sleeping, we got attacked by a Yeti.
Do we roll insight on that?
Sure.
we kind of did at the time,
Oh, okay.
and he was terrified enough to like not lie to us,
Okay.
or at least we thought he was, because we literally saved his life because he was dying in the snow.
Okay, here are my idea. Octavio takes one of those crag cat cutlets I have, heats it up with his heating abilities. Oh god, okay, sorry, sneeze. Throws it onto the ice bridge. The Yeti comes out, and then we just obliterate the ice bridge with them on it.
So the ice is thin enough in places it's possible, but it's also possible that the Yeti is able to cross it.
But if
How
we
long
just,
is the bridge? Like, is it like?
It's
If
not.
we
It's
put-
not really.
Yeah, it's
if we
about
put the
15
meat
feet.
in the middle of it, and then you just Zephyr strike that bridge.
I don't know if an arrow is going to be enough to break it, at least
Maybe.
fully. Some kind of fire would, but
Fire.
Some kind of fire
Do I
would
know-
definitely do that.
Do I know anything about Yetis?
Roll me whichever check you think is best.
Roll a Yeti check.
Yes. Can I also roll a nature check
Yeti.
to see if how much I
Yeti
know about
check.
Yetis?
Yes.
I have a feeling I would be able to roll a nature check too.
I got a 19.
Ooh,
Apparently, we all know we're extremely knowledgeable about
Whoops.
Yeti.
Well, they're neither
Except
are
for
good.
Gar.
Except for Gar.
Except for me, which is interesting.
The druid doesn't know anything about Yeti.
I don't think I've rolled above an 11 today, actually.
You
Now that I think about it.
Aw.
you
you
missed
get that
day.
113.
That's true.
You missed that day in Druid class.
Yeah.
One day in Druid school.
Magical creatures was not your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All
so
about the
what-
mushrooms.
What do y'all know about Yetis? What you know, Barry and Swift, is that legend has it that the gaze of a Yeti can freeze a man in place.
Ooh.
But what Octavia knows is that Yetis have a natural fear of fire.
Oh.
Octavio, this is your time to shine,
This is-
literally.
Really good we got Octavio here, right?
It would be.
But they
So the
but
only
they
so the
also
only
have-
way for us to rescue that halfling is for me to use my magic.
It would make it a hell of a lot easier.
It would make it a lot easier.
Much less room for death and dismemberment.
Okay, I'll try, but if it backfires again, I'm sorry.
Fine.
I don't think
So-
we'll blame you in this instance.
So what are we doing with this Yeti cub?
Oh boy. Well, this is going to sound unsavory, but it's going to grow up to be a Yeti, so
I mean, it is a Yeti already.
I mean, it'll grow up to be an actually dangerous Yeti.
Oh, is this the path we're going down?
Listen, I'm not
It's that or
suggesting
it
that we just
starves
kill it.
out here.
How intelligent are Yetis?
just like hushing, like we're just sort of hushing here.
I mean,
'Cause
they're
we don't
about,
wanna-
they're about as intelligent as they're not very intelligent.
So like,
Yeah.
are they smarter than like a dog, or are they
they're
basically a
They're
dog,
essentially a predatory animal.
Yeah.
like a wolf, essentially?
Imagine a gorilla that can live on a mountain with horns, and you have a yeti.
Gorillas are smart though.
Yeah. So,
Well, they're small. They're smart for animals.
I could see a gorilla being upset if
Are
its
you
gorilla
suggesting that
parent
we-
died.
That we try to talk to the Yeti, Gar.
I don't think we can talk to it.
I did suggest this at first, I will say.
Based on what we know about Yetis, can they be reasoned? Is that something that's
Oh, no.
reasonable?
Definitely
Yeah.
not. The Beery's patting themselves on the back anyways.
They are actually.
I talked about peace.
They are actually slightly smarter than apes, if you must know.
Oh,
Okay.
that's even worse.
Is it?
I mean,
Well,
It depends
are
how
we
much you
talking
care.
in D&D terms?
I mean, I don't expect a yeti to write a thesis on fucking quantum mechanics, but they are smarter than apes.
maybe not this Yeti.
so.
So it'll only take them 90 years to have
So
100
here-
of them write Shakespeare instead of 100 of them.
Okay.
Here
Okay,
is
so
my
how do we want to do this?
Here is my problem. This Yeti has already proven to be a nuisance outside of the confines of Dungeons Cairn.
Oh, we're murdering the Yeti mom. I just, I
Right,
take
that brings
some
with
problems.
it a potentially unsavory option of what to do about the child. Because the
can't
child has
avoid
not
it.
killed. The child has not killed anyone.
Yeah.
However,
Well,
the
that
child
you
will grow up to
know.
be a Yeti, and the Yeti, if we don't know what has caused the Yeti to range as far away as it did, will just end up being another problem further down the line. Granted, it won't be a problem for us now.
All right. Well, how are we tackling the problem now?
Oh, we kill the Yeti for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
How-
not the child Yeti unless we have to.
Do we have any game plan?
We
for how
just
wanna
give it.
do
We
this?
give it the Kill Bill speech.
Just...
We give it from the speech from part 2.
Oh man.
If you find me, you grow up and you still feel bitter about this, come find me.
But it has no idea what we're saying because it's a Yeti.
Because it's a Yeti that doesn't
Yeah.
understand common.
Oh my god.
I mean, they
Yeah.
understand entertainment and being
At
laughing.
30 years from now, Swift's gonna open their cottage door, and there's gonna be a Yeti that does the 5-finger palm strike right
man.
into Swift's
And at
heart.
that point,
It's gonna be a cottage too, with like a
At
little
that point-
short
We're
white
actually-
fence.
I heard they
Walk
actually
5
were making a
steps.
Kill Bill 3 about that plot line.
I don't know what happened to it, but
Walks 5
Sorry.
steps, and then Swift's heart explodes.
All right.
proud. I'm so proud.
So are we throwing some ball bearings on this ice bridge? What am I doing here?
I don't know if they'll stay
What is it? A far drop?
at 90 feet.
Pretty far.
I can see the bottom. It's at least it's not more than 90 feet.
From the bottom, could it get back up anywhere?
Not that I could see.
Maybe.
chasm.
They definitely have a climbing speed.
Do they?
I mean, they live in the mountains. I would assume they probably do. Yes.
I guess
Yeah.
that maybe it'd be easier to deal with if it's in a hole, and then
So-
you can just.
Pew
We can
pews
try
at
to
it.
we can try to lure it out. That's true. We could try to like pincer it because there's 2 ways to get across. I don't know, God, if you would be able to cross the ice bridge. It's kind of thin in places.
I feel like Gar and I are gonna have to deal with just grabbing the
If-
guy from the little one or something.
So the thing that is happening is inside. If you go across the non-ice bridge, it's got the. It just sort of leads in up some stairs, but like this one, there is a slope upward into the rest of the room. So you'd be on the low ground, coming in across the bridge, the ice bridge.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I don't know. I think leading. I mean, it's probably the best chance we got.
Yeah.
So we want to
Alright.
try to lead it onto the bridge and then
Right.
destroy
Jose,
it.
are you saying something?
And Garrett's
Oh,
like,
sorry.
Oh,
is it
okay.
I just-
I saw you were talking. I didn't know if you were like.
Sorry, Garrett. Would you like to contribute?
Are you guys saying that we should kill the Yeti and leave the baby alone?
I don't like either option, Octavio. Just Hi.
There are no good options here.
No good
Can we-
options.
Can we perhaps maybe try to distract the Yeti and then have the halfling run, and then if they follow, we can just.
Oh, they will absolutely follow.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we leave the bridge as a contingency plan if we have to.
Well, as a player here, the way I understand it is that the other
the
way.
group tries to tackle infanticide or lack thereof.
Oh no.
There's your title for the
It's-
stream right there.
Yeah.
The other way, it's like a small tunnel, right? Like I don't think a Yeti can fit through that tunnel.
Just because it can probably squeeze through
Yeah.
the thing. It can't move normally through, but it can probably squeeze
No
through.
matter what, we're probably gonna have to fight this at some point. I'm just trying to figure out how we
Okay.
want to approach the situation with so many different tunnels, bridges,
Yeah.
and such. Because I feel like one of us should probably try to grab the halfling and get them out.
Yeah, the halfling's got to get across the bridge one way or
A
another,
reasonable option, yeah.
for
Mhm.
sure.
Because that halfling might know something that we do not.
Yeah. So
and-
Garrett and I can go in and grab the halfling, and Garrett can get them out.
Do you want to
Well-
go in, get it? Do you
No,
want
no,
to go
no,
in?
no. It's more like. No,
The
Garrett,
normal
oh.
human mountaineer, would you like to go and try and
Yeah,
grab a
the-
halfling from a yeti?
and Garrett, the guy.
The normal guy with
No,
like
Garrett,
5 HP.
I'll cover you. You just have to grab him and run. You don't have
That
to
baby
fight.
yeti could probably kill Garrett.
So if we do the pincer maneuver, and I can distract them with fire from one side, while you guys like try to get the halfling and run out,
Mhm.
and then
That's
get
not a
him out
bad
of-
plan. We
I
could, like,
can try
laser-
entangling it. I think it's probably got a pretty high strength.
What if?
Yeah, it's probably
Also,
pretty
throwing
strong.
this out there, what if like we went in there with Octavio's
like-
fire powers, and he can make like a, I don't know, what can you do with your fire power? Because I'm imagining you can like make a screen above us. We can literally run into that little column area, that little room where the.
No, so my fire power is just like burst of fire. Honestly, I can do an illusion to make candle flames look bigger than what they.
Well, there's no
Wow.
candle flames in there, so
Oh,
Too bad on that one.
I can cause flames to flicker brighter.
okay. So
Ooh.
I don't hate the idea of I can accompany Octavio across the ice bridge to act as a distraction. And we have a bit of a sort of choke point for us to go back through and buy us some time. If Octavio uses fire to attack the Yeti and distract it, I imagine that will also distract the baby, and then Beery and Gar can come in from the other side and get the halfling extracted.
Does the other side, can I get through there without going across the bridge?
No,
Yeah.
you can get there without going across the ice bridge. There's
Okay.
another bridge, but it's made of stone.
Okay, that is the one I will be using.
Same.
That
Okay,
one
good.
seems stable.
And I will keep an eye out.
You wait here, so when Beery and Gar bring out the halfling, you can keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Sounds
Let's
good.
do it.
And
Everybody,
then-
crampons on.
And then be ready to
I haven't
Tiff.
taken them off.
shoot to kill the Yeti.
Hey, Octavio! Don't forget about those
Yes.
ball bearings after you get across the bridge. Those could be fun.
Yeah, and if
Slow down.
if the Yeti's coming across the bridge, entangled turns into difficult terrain, which might help. That slows it down, right? That's how difficult terrain works.
How long does Entangle
Mhm.
last?
Yeah.
1 minute.
Okay.
Concentration.
Nice, let's go.
All right, yeah.
So,
So that-
if I remember correctly, in difficult terrain, that halves their movement speed, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which might be enough to keep it on there long enough for.
Plus, I think for
Something
the
happens.
first time they move into it, they have to try and make a save to not
Yes.
get tangled up in it.
Yes.
But I'm not putting my faith in that necessarily.
Exactly. I don't know.
I
if
think
it would-
Yetis are pretty strong.
If it does happen, great. Then
If
I
it
have some
fucks up,
follow-up
yeah,
stuff I can
yeah.
do.
Also, did we just split the party to people with dark vision and people without dark vision?
Yeah, you'll have to sell mine.
Yes.
Can you adjust the brightness of the bullseye just out of curiosity?
Yeah, I think
I
you
don't know.
can. I think it's got a shutter, doesn't it? Couldn't you like?
No, I think that's the other one.
No, this one has
Yeah,
a shutter. I thought that was the point
Cast
of it.
bright light in a 60-foot cone and dim light for an additional 60 feet. Once lit, it burns for 6 hours on a flask.
Yeah, the hooded lantern, you can
The hooded
dim
lantern.
it.
Ah,
But
So that I guess is a bit of a problem.
But the bullseye lantern, I guess, it's when it's on, and when it's off,
Well,
it's
that
off.
so that's gonna be a problem regardless of how we split the group.
yeah. That's why
Yeah.
I wanted you guys to distract the Yeti ahead of time so that we could get in there with our lanterns.
So
Yeah.
I guess what you probably want to try and do is like direct the light so it's not like shining down that hallway, but
Yeah.
like just
Like,
basically
pointing
give
down
yourself
like this.
enough. Yeah, give yourself enough to like move down. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Just
Cool.
with that angle.
Nice.
Okay.
Octavio, be very quiet.
Yes. Okay. I start breathing really loudly.
if it starts coming after us, you know what to do, right?
Run.
I've got your back.
Yeah.
I've got your back.
Remember,
I'm right here,
Octavio,
all
they're
the-
scared of fire.
I like to think that the ice makes that like ice cracking noise. You know what I'm talking about in the lakes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the ice
Oh,
singing.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Octavio.
We are wearing our
Octavio.
crampons.
Ah, but did Octavio put on his crampons?
He said he
Yeah.
never took them off.
Okay. fine.
Definitely.
He
Yeah.
always
Alright.
wears them.
It'd be like, what? He slips
I'm
up.
always wearing crampons.
And there's
You might
there's
survive
Octavio's
that fall.
storyline.
That's
You might survive that fall.
So at this time,
Okay.
should Gar and I also be moving towards the
Probably.
small
yeah.
room? Okay.
Yeah.
Creep.
That's to the
I'm-
right, right? Or is
Yeah.
that to the left?
Yeah, to
Oh,
the
I
right.
see. Over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going straight. Ah!
Darkness.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
Gar,
yeah.
you need to go right. I know this is strange for you, but you need to go right.
But we explored. I explored both options first.
Can I be on the other
No,
team?
Beery, no!
Gar,
Wait, no, I
go
thought you said right.
backwards and then go
You
left.
You
You
just
just
jumped
fell
into an abyss.
You said I'm right. All right. Well, here I am.
You did go right. You took the right path out of the two.
Yeah. Alright. Do I have to make... I'm assuming this is a point where I start making dexterity saves?
Dexterity saves.
Or stealth checks, I mean.
Yeah, I will need to see stealth checks.
There's a 15. That's the lowest I've rolled.
From all of us, or
Just specifically from Swift and Octavio because they are.
Well, that's good.
Luckily, I am still invisible to the Yeti. However,
however.
it might hear me. Octavio only rolled
Oh,
a 12.
That is not enough.
Well, it's a good thing
Octavio-
we're the distraction.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing a great job at that.
Octavio, you're like, and you take a step forward, and a rock like slips.
It
from,
causes
like-
an avalanche inside the cave.
Oh no.
Yeah,
A localized
Of
avalanche.
bones.
Just on me, not on...
Bones.
not on
and,
Swift.
and you see the rock like bounce like, and then it hits the floor. Like makes like a loud echoing noise as it cracks in front of you, and you see the Yeti like and then like turn around.
Swift knocks an arrow.
I was hoping it would roll into a
Yeah,
slightly bigger rock and then
My
into
sword
a bigger rock.
is drawn at this point, and I am rolling my eyes because I know that was Octavio.
Octavio,
Yeah.
it sees you. we need to roll initiative, but we're not
Okay.
into full combat just yet.
Okay.
God bless. +9 to initiative.
Jesus.
Gonna blow
I
this
thought- I
Yeti
I
out.
thought my +4 was nice.
There's another 11.
Mine
You're
would be +4, but
You can just blow
Gloomstalkers
this
get a
Yeti.
+5.
Off the cliff. One Zephyr Strike later, this thing's pinned to a wall.
Well, probably not.
No, probably
No,
not.
we'll see.
You just want to see you
Why am
like
I ahead?
all this
Why am I
crap.
ahead of Swift? That's what's going on
You
in my head.
you have an higher AC than me.
Oh wow, the Yeti rolled
Oh,
some
that's
shit. Great.
Good. Listen, it was in the middle of watching its programs. It was in the middle of watching its
Yeah.
soaps.
Yeah, it had hair curlers in and shit. It has the face mask on. Ah!
We're screaming at each other in terror.
Somehow Mittens got up here to sell cucumbers for their eyes.
We're Yeti home invaders.
Technically.
We are the baddies. Oh no.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. This Yeti has killed many people.
Okay, you see the Yeti peers over
Oh,
its
tiny
shoulder.
Yeti's so cute.
It is cute, and it's gonna grow up to be an adventurer because you're gonna make it into an orphan. But you see the Yeti peer over its shoulder, and you don't know if it's like a trick of the light or something, but you see a flash of blue when it does that, and it turns to you, and it gets on its haunches, and it roars, and the echo like thunders throughout the cave, and then it stands there, and it's just grinning. It's like making this ghastly grin at you to show you its fangs.
I just kind of look at Beer and I'm like, well,
Yeah, I was like,
that's,
that's our cue. Okay. Can we move since we're not currently engaged or anything like that, or are we in turn order now?
Yeah,
We're
we're in
Okay.
turn. Things.
All right.
Like, yeah.
So it's very clearly know that we're here. It very clearly knows we're here, right?
doesn't
Yeah.
know we're here. It knows you're here.
Right. It knows we're here, but we're being the distraction. So I think Swift in service of being a good distraction. Can I like aim to hit the Yeti from where I'm standing?
Oh, that's actually a. Hold on.
If not, I can move in past Octavio.
You might have to move.
That's fine. I can move in. I have enough movement.
Yeah. You'll have to move in a little bit.
Swift just like nudges Octavio to the side, like invisibly, and like steps into the room.
I'm sorry.
Knocks an arrow, and I think as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Zephyr Strike. Let's start strong.
Okay.
One
So
hit the Yeti.
Dread Ambusher. I get to attack twice. The second one, if it hits, will do an extra D8 of force damage.
Wow.
Okay.
And then the Zephyr Strike is going to deal an extra D8 of force damage on the first attack. If it hits, I also make that with advantage.
Wow.
Just give me damage.
So I'm gonna roll for I'm gonna roll to hit with a longbow. At advantage.
That's a lot of dice.
So the 26 to hit. So the normal damage is unfortunately only going to be 5.
Unfortunately.
Is favorite foe? Is it a? Oh no, it's not a bonus action. And I'm not concentrating on Zephyr Strike anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna make it my favorite foe as well.
Okay.
4 arrows.
So I'm gonna roll a D4 plus the D8 from Zephyr Strike.
Plus a D2 and another D4.
and 2d12 and a d18.
7. Okay, so that's
Somehow made Finn
12.
throws the
The
dagger.
D18.
That's 12 damage on the first attack.
Okay.
And then the second attack will not be at advantage. That's
So
just
that's
it.
a 12 for my first attack. My second attack is another 12, and my third attack
That's only a
is
16.
14.
Does a 16 hit?
Only a 16.
Only
Oh.
a 16.
That's 16 hits.
Cool. So that's 9, and then the extra D8 of force damage from my Dread Ambusher feat. So that's another 14 points of damage. So 26 points of damage total.
Okay. Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. Plus another D4. I just realized.
Just because.
So 20,
that
27 instead of 26.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So-
Swift fires off this just like hail of 2 arrows right off the bat. And then retreats back behind Octavio.
So Octavio just sees these arrows just come out of nowhere, just and just fire off into the Yeti. The Yeti roars, and hey, guess what, guys?
What?
Something roars back, and all you hear is for a split second, Garrett go, "Oh God, there's a nut!" And then he gets cut off.
Uh-oh.
Garrett? Oh.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Well,
Oh,
Wait, Garrett's behind us
no.
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad.
Swing the
As-
notes around.
As
We had no
you
indication that there might have been two.
You see the dad Yeti, complete with beer gut and a cigar dangling out of the corner of his mouth, holding a goat under one hand, looks at Beery and casts Chilling Gaze. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh man, okay. Ooh.
Ooh, that's not
13's
great.
not terrible.
Oh, it's just enough though. Okay, that's fine. You're
It's
good.
like, remember, I have
chill-
cold resistance and whatever with that chewinga.
It's just okay. So you take. Hold on, I gotta roll some dice.
Well,
you
our
take
plan
cold
is out the window.
So if you take cold
Okay.
damage, then you will have it, basically.
Okay, you only take 2 cold damage. That's after resistance.
Okay,
and
cool.
use it. And I did not forget the Chewinga thing. Hold on. So let me.
So it's the first time you take cold damage after.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like a time limit. It's just like the first time you take cold damage, just period. So
This has been in our back pocket for 15 sessions.
I remember that chewinga, don't worry.
okay, you become paralyzed right now, and at the start of your next turn, you'll have to make another Constitution saving throw to see if you can get unparalyzed. But
Damn, that was with a success.
no. Like she rolled like just one under. Like she, yeah. And you gain something called the Charm of the Ice Troll. This charm allows you to use your reaction to reduce the cold damage you take to reduce the damage to 0. You regain a number of hit points equal to half that cold damage you would have taken. Once you do so, the charm vanishes from you.
Oh, so it's just gone now, or?
No, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
No, but it pops now. Like, oh, this is what you have. So,
Cool, thanks.
yeah.
Just grab it out of the air like Scott Pilgrim.
Ah. Okay, but you do take 2 cold damage, and you are paralyzed. Ah.
For like a
All right.
turn, or what? Oh god.
And you have to make a Constitution saving throw on your next turn. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Octavio, you hear you hear Garrett being cut off, and something roars back.
What was that?
Focus
And I
on the
just
task.
cast-
Focus on the task at hand.
Okay. And I cast Scorching Ray.
3 bolts.
Yes.
I assume all 3 are going at the one that you can see.
Yeah.
That's 22 on the first one.
Does a 22 hit?
That hits. That definitely hits.
So that probably hits. We know what 16 hits.
So
No.
20, 30.
A 16 hits, but a 22 does not.
Yeah.
We're working-
So we know
we're
it's
working on
at
backup.
least 16's good.
Yeah.
So 24,
Jesus
and
Christ.
then
Wow.
because it's fire, you add my charisma modifier, I believe.
To each individual hit, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I am Gold Dragon.
So proud.
Which one?
PPs are back.
So 5, yep. So 5 charisma, so that's another 15 points.
So 24, 39 points of fire damage?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right.
So when
Okay.
I cast this, what happens is that my disco ball thing happens, and a bunch of little like magical creatures like sprout out from it, and enhance the fire, make it even bigger, and just
Oh my god. Just little calcifers everywhere.
yeah,
Octavio,
the little monkey.
Octavio comes out from this little chasm. Doves start flying in the background. You see the the Yeti like takes one in the shoulder, one in the chest, and then the final one's like, and it just like and slumps. It's dead. You fucking killed it.
Jesus.
Wow.
You killed it butt good. I mean,
Oh my god.
I mean, fucking A.
That monkey.
I mean, 30. If it's gotten aversion to fire, 39 points of fire damage. It's a lot.
That's God.
I mean, you guys hit it with a goddamn like
1-2
rifle in the
punch.
first round.
We're the glass
Yeah.
cannon over here.
And then Octavio comes out. Just like,
That's our ship name is Glass Cannon.
all right.
Glass cannon.
Is that gonna be the end? Jesus, is that gonna be the end of your turn?
Is that
Octavio?
it? Is that it?
Are you done? Are you done?
Well, I could have used twin spell, but no.
There wasn't anything else to hit from where we
I'm
were.
glad you didn't.
The baby.
Octavio's gonna kill the baby.
Octavia's character
No, that's why I
really
didn't use
takes a
it.
turn
Octavio's gonna kill.
here.
Guys, Octavio's gonna kill the baby.
He said he would do it.
No,
Went from killing an innocent guard to killing an innocent baby.
no, I'm not killing a baby.
Oh no.
Jesus,
this is the-
Octavio.
This is a dark path you've started walking.
I'm sorry.
At this point, I just
sorry.
I don't mean to.
As it's just burning.
while I'm paralyzed, I just kind of like through my teeth. I'm like, Gar, avenge me!
Again, I love the fact that Beery did not see any of this.
Wait, I thought you made
become
your check.
progressively more impressive to Swift, and Barry's just like, I haven't seen anything.
What Barry sees or what Barry hears is Swift and Octavio going, oh shit!
A number of explosions happened. I'm very proud that Octavio is using his firepower again.
You
But
see like flashes of light and shit coming off
Try and,
the
like,
walls.
there's a
crane your-
transformer exploding somewhere. Just
You try and like crane your like paralyzed body to like see if you could see anything.
A stray dove.
always.
And then- it's like one of those like flash frozen. Your body is just like frozen with cold, sort of like the chill. Just like,
Oh god.
Ding dong.
Fucking A.
Jesus.
Alright.
One down, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Gar, what are you gonna do? You gotta
Did
bonk
you-
it?
I thought you 13. You made the check. You're paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
No,
It was one. It was one lower than it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's
she was-
not good.
Yeah, she was just shy.
That's not good. I
I
know.
wanted
you're
to
there.
try this.
I imagine
Um,
this is Gar saying this, like, oh, that's not good.
That is not good.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Would
That's
this spell reduce the damage it can do?
Oh.
Oh, I think it would actually. It would have to fail its save to do
Right.
it.
Okay.
What's it save?
As it only says about weapons, but would that be considered natural weapons as well?
Targets.
Disadvantage on strength check and strength saving throws. If it's got
This is-
natural weapons are technically still weapons.
That's what I was hoping.
I mean, I would count it as natural weapons, just
Okay.
for the
They would
sake of
they would
it.
do a D4 less damage.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I do that
okay.
with a DC of 13.
Okay. It
Is
has to
that
make its
a-
constitution. All right, let me see.
It's
It
a-
fails.
Yes.
Mini Yeti.
So you see the Yeti like ah.
This is a baby daddy.
And that's just like a little Yeti like.
You turned it into Danny DeVito. You've made Danny DeVito.
I think it's even more powerful now.
This Yeti is now Danny DeVito from Matilda.
Oh God.
So let me. And now the
It
Yeti
somehow does more damage.
Oh no. Oh,
Now,
Beery's
now-
cackling through the paralyzed
now-
stare.
now- yeah, as this thing shrinks down to normal human size. All right, is that gonna be your turn, Guard?
Yeah, it's still a
That's
pretty
good.
buff human.
That was
but,
a
yeah.
good fucking turn.
That's a great
Wait,
turn.
and Andrew, so I just looked it up. My draconic fire thing doesn't apply until level 6.
Oh,
The
You
total-
you
The
still
total
did,
damage was 20.
you still did enough damage to kill it even without it. That was just
Yeah.
overkill. Like at that
Okay.
point, yeah, no, you it was dead before it even had a turn. So don't worry about it.
Eh.
All right, Barry, you gotta make a con. I need to see a con save.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh
even at the sight of this little tiny yeti, which hold on, wait, let me take this one out of the turn order because it's day.
Can you
Am I
shrink the
just
token?
paralyzed forever?
I did shrink the token. It's
Oh, you
smaller
did?
now. Yeah, it was 4 spaces. Now it's 1 space.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
it was large now, small.
Can someone like slap me out of this? Like, my goodness.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Swift.
So that being dead, Swift just looks at Octavian and is like, so
I'm
much,
looking at my hands.
so much
after,
for
like,
being a
smoking.
distraction. I guess that works. And Swift is going to hearing that sort of cry behind us is going to come out and be like, "That's the cutest yeti I've ever seen."
The second smallest yeti in this cave.
This is the second smallest yeti in this cave. However, Swift didn't see anything about what happened. Just sees now this like miniature grown yeti, and it's just like,
Why is he so angry?
okay.
That took out Garrett.
Garrett lost to this. I mean, he was just a dude. It's true.
I mean, yeah.
I think Swift is going to. Sure. Why
Come down
not?
and help us.
Swift is gonna Zephyr Strike again.
Oh, thank goodness.
Except this time, it's only 1 attack. So. That's a 20 to hit.
That's enough to hit it, yeah.
So 12 points of
Fucking
damage.
Yeti.
What?
That's a fucking yeti. It's just whatever. Go on.
It got shrunk and now it's getting hit with an arrow. So that's plus a
I
d8.
can't wait to see him attack.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use my other favored foe for this as well. So an extra d4 plus a d8.
Oh, perfect.
So that's 17 points of damage total.
Excellent. Okay. This yeti doesn't like the fact that it's taking 17 points of damage, despite how small it is. And you see the little yeti, like, like just it's like shink, and it shines its blue eyes at you. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw now, Swift.
Is this a reaction?
Huh? No, this is part of its attack.
Oh, I still have a movement.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I go by behind Octavia.
because I haven't. I think Swift is just gonna retreat back behind the wall. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, it still has enough movement to reach you, though.
That's fine. Make it come to me.
All right, so yeah.
Make this
so-
miniature
wait.
Yeti come to me.
Can you?
So Octavia,
Can you reverse the spell whenever he goes over the ice?
Reverse what spell?
Make it
Make it
large.
No,
Against the
it would
ice
have to
crack.
be on his turn.
so Octavia, you see you see Swift lean out, just yeah, that'll take care of it, and then lean back in, and you just hear this sound. It just sounds like as this little Yeti guy just starts running up to Swift, claws out, just like scratching away at Swift. What's your AC?
I was
Swift?
like, what is happening
16.
right
Okay, good.
Oh wait,
All right.
there's no light here, right?
now? No.
It has disadvantage because I can't see me.
Okay, it still hit on one, but it didn't
Okay.
hit on the second one. Okay. And hold on, it does a D4 less damage. Okay, so you take 5 slashing damage and
Okay.
2 cold damage.
It's
From one of the
past the
hits.
24 hours, right?
I would still say it's like at the cusp of the 24-hour mark.
Okay, so it was 2 cold, so I take 1 cold damage.
Yeah.
So I take
And-
6 total.
And the eyes pierce into you, Octavio,
Oh.
as these cold blue eyes look at you, and I need to see a Constitution saving throw.
Don't roll bad.
No, I'm gonna roll so bad.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Octavio,
Well, it can't be that easy.
Look at that. Half our party's knocked out now.
Yep.
Octavio, you take 12 cold damage and you're paralyzed
Ay, la
as
verga.
this wee little Yeti gazes its chilling gaze at you.
It's
Just
weaselly
to,
Yeti.
just to remind us that it's still dangerous despite the fact that it's tiny.
Very tiny.
Yeah, now,
So
now
the-
just go.
It has to reaffirm that this isn't a cakewalk.
The reduced Yeti went after them. It's dark. I
Yeah.
couldn't see it. Okay.
Yeah,
I
because
did.
it doesn't understand what enlarge reduce is, but it understands that it got shot by a fucking arrow.
I
Got
just
it.
love
Wait,
that enlarge
so what am I
reduce doesn't have a save
restrain, you
after
said?
that.
You're paralyzed.
Nope.
Paralyzed.
So you can. It's your turn, right?
It's the
Yeah,
best.
it is your turn, Octavia. So you need to make a Constitution save.
Yeah, it failed that initial save. It is just stuck like this unless it breaks the concentration.
Yeah, which is a minute, but that's pretty long in combat.
That's long. That's long enough. That's another con save for Octavia.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't take actions or reactions.
Yeah, basically you use your turn to do this, to
Got it.
save.
You're paralyzed.
Oh, that'll do it.
Oh,
You're not that intimidating.
damn it!
Yeah. The like you're frozen in place, being like, wait, no, fuck this little guy, and you just like shake it off.
In before though, it's a fucking what's the word? It's stun locks.
Pretty much.
Okay,
I
and
guess
that's
my turn, right?
yeah, that would be your turn because that's the end of your turn. Okay,
Can I do a
Gar.
bonus action? I don't have any herbs.
Okay, looks like all I can really do is quickest way to get there would be go down, right?
Yeah, you saw this little
Yeah.
Yeti.
You saw it run
Turns out,
off. You might still be able to see it if you.
Oh, I do see it over there.
you just hear Octavia go, "What the fuck?"
All right. Well, since it's over there,
The fuck is that?
surprisingly, I don't have a lot to attack from farther away.
You have poison spray, right? I think it's too far for poison spray.
You're definitely too far for poison spray.
He's just gonna
Um,
mace the little Yeti now. Just...
I was thinking of fairy firing it. I think I'm gonna do that.
Ooh.
That's a little yeti.
So
Please,
oh, if you
sir,
fairy fire, it's gonna change. If you do that, it's no longer small.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
concentration?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
I didn't know
all
that.
concentration.
Never mind. I'm not doing that.
Just a reminder.
Do you want to, instead of moving that direction, you could have always grabbed the halfling.
That's true. I think we've got this Yeti on lock. for
Yeah, I
now.
think we're probably just gonna kill him.
Famous last words.
Yeah, we got this.
Listen,
Man, I don't even have a.
I have yet to shift.
Octavia's
Crossbow.
head pops out. He's like, "We're good."
Yeah. That's it, really. I don't have anything ranged, surprisingly. I don't really know how that happened. I don't have a crossbow or anything. So,
Because you're playing a
been-
bonk build.
The bonk of death.
yeah, there's no range.
The bunk of
You've
death.
killed
So,
killed many an enemy with the
I'm-
bonk of death.
I'm just gonna stare menacingly at the small Yeti over there, and that's my turn.
Very good.
He feels it.
Just point and laugh. All right. So you spend your turn staring menacingly.
That's another
Alright.
save.
Jesus.
Man.
Oh my god.
I would have like tried to shake you awake if that was part of the mechanic.
Like at this point, Barry's just like bored with the paralysis. Like she's just like,
Yeah, at this point, I use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on myself. If I'm allowed to do this.
weirdly enough, you're incapacitated, so you can't take actions or reactions as well.
No. Barry's
Oh.
more upset that they're missing out on the action. But I want to fight a Yeti.
Yeah, that was like your whole thing.
I know. And I just.
This campaign has done a really good job of robbing you of all the glory.
I know.
It'll make it that much better when you do get it, though.
Swift is going to use their bonus action to shift, and then is then going to pull out their rapier and attempt to attack the Yeti. Because it can't see me, do I have advantage on the attack?
I would say yes.
So that's only an 11, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
That does not hit. It's
That's a
too
bad-
small.
That's a bad
Yo.
attack.
You overshot.
Damn it. You do like a horizontal slice and you over his head.
Oh, that would have hit the normal Yeti.
Yeah, you crop off one of its hair.
I think Swift is just gonna stay put as like a stumbling block for this Yeti. It's like it's gonna try and get past me and just be like, oh.
Okay, surprisingly, even though it's attacking at disadvantage, it did manage to hit with both of its attacks.
Oh jeez.
Wow.
So let me.
Good thing I just got 5 temp HP. Oof.
Yeah, I got to roll a d4 to reduce damage. Thanks, Howard, for that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
That was such a clutch first spell.
Enlarge Reduce is really cool when you start to read exactly what it does.
Yeah.
Okay,
so the first
so-
one's just for 1.
So the first attack, you take 9 slashing and 4 cold. The second one, you take 5 slashing and 6 cold damage.
How much was the cold on the?
4 for the first, 6 for the second.
How much was the second attack total?
Second attack total was 11.
I was at 31. I took 13 plus 11. Oh god, I'm at 7.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
This is the closest I've ever been to death.
Good thing you got the temporary HP, I guess. Not anymore, but
I'm
know.
at 8.
It already
I would have been at 2.
That's what I said. Famous last words.
The big Yeti, no problem. Little Yeti, now we're fucked.
Well, because we couldn't just blast it with fire to auto kill it this time.
oh man.
Model went
Okay.
fast.
I need to make a concentration check for my. I think that makes it for the first one, and I think it also makes it for the second one because I don't think it's higher than 10 for either of them.
Well, the first one, let's see.
It's either 10 or half, whichever's higher.
Right, for the total damage. So
Right, because
so
it was 2 individual attacks, which means it would
right,
be 2 checks.
Right, and the enlarge reduced the first one only by 1. And that was so after the reduce, it was 9 slashing and 4 cold.
So 13, which would have been a DC 10, because it's
Right.
13 divided by 2 is not higher than 10. So,
Okay, all right.
and then the second one would be whatever that was divided by 2, and the 10 would be higher. So, then I make both of those saves, so I'm still concentrating on it.
Okay.
Andrew,
Yes.
I'll let you do the ruling on this. I forgot when he froze me and did the damage that I could do Hellish Rebuke. Like it's like an automatic thing.
Well, you would be paralyzed.
Yeah, but it just does it when I take damage.
It's still a reaction.
Yeah, that still counts
Oh,
as
it
a
is?
reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's not automatic. It is a reaction.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that is going to have to be a reaction, and because the paralysis makes you incapacitated, you can't take actions or reactions. Because
Alright,
of
that's
it.
cool.
That's cool. Scorching ray.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh! Well, the second one misses, but the third one makes up for it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, the first one hits it, second one goes right over its head, but the third one, oof,
28 points of damage.
fucking
28.
A.
And once again, this little creature's just.
Yeah, this little tiny pissed off baby creature is now singed and smells of burnt fur, and you're getting all of that, Swift. That's just filling your nostril.
Oh god, and I just like so woozy from the lack of blood at this point that I'm just like.
Are you gonna
Coughing
move,
up a
Octavia?
hairball.
Yeah. Are you moving, Octavia?
Hold on. Oh, I'm not restricted anymore. Let me take that off. Yeah, I'm gonna boop boop. Just there. It's
Alright.
out of range.
You got this, Swift. Good luck.
Well, at least Gar's coming to back me up.
Can't believe he's not dead yet.
I mean,
you kind of unloaded on the first one, so now it's just like, oh shit. All right, Gar, what you gonna do?
You're muted.
Howard, 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 you're muted.
That's weird. I didn't mute myself. Huh.
Or did you?
I muted you. Ha ha ha.
So if that's 10, I would end up here, which is just far enough away,
And poison spray.
right out of smacking zone. So I gotta use poison spray.
Gotta use poison spray like some kind of pleb.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wow, I could have used chill touch last time. Actually, it wouldn't have mattered. It's got cold
Yeah.
resistance. Wait,
Chill touch is not cold damage.
Chill
not
touch
cold,
is
it's not
necrotic.
cold damage and it's not touch.
It's not
That's
a
why I
touch
didn't.
spell.
No.
It's
It's
necrotic.
necrotic and it's raged.
Every time it gets
Every
me.
time.
It's a dumb spell. I want to change the name of it.
It's a
It's a
stupid
terrible
name.
name.
They could have honestly just been like Touch of the Grave or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Or
Shocking Grasp is exactly what it sounds like. Chill touch is the exact opposite.
All right. In that case, poison spray if it hits.
oh, it has to make a con save. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, stop. I just tried to.
It
Sorry.
makes a con save. It
Bad.
just, you're like at it, and it just over to where Gar's at. And you're spraying it with
Hold on,
poison.
let me repost that gift.
This is one pissed off Yeti.
God.
All right, Barry.
It's not gonna happen.
Hey,
Wow.
free.
Hey.
Too bad you're too far away to get over there.
So far.
Just in
Okay.
time.
That's my action, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That'd be the end of your turn.
You're gonna show up just in time for it to die.
I'm just gonna turn around so I can at least go and get the halfling like I was planning on to begin with.
She's gonna kill the baby just because.
I'm not killing the baby.
I gotta have something under my belt, damn it.
Something must die.
There's no honor in murdering a child,
Okay.
Jesus.
So I have a question.
This is what Tempest wants. What's up?
How rough does it look?
It's pretty fucking rough. It's now like covered in poison spray and like bits of its fur is
literally-
burnt up. And has
It's,
a
it's literally that gift.
has a good couple arrows in
Now
it.
see-
It-
The smart thing to do here would be to disengage.
Is it though? But what do you don't have to.
Because as soon as I disengage, it loses track of me. Like, as soon as I get away from it, it loses track
That's
of
true.
me.
And then it would attack me, which I can take it.
Yeah. I think Swift is gonna play smart. The
I
survival.
don't know, it's
He's Swift isn't in this for the glory. Swift is the survivalist. So Swift is gonna choose to disengage, and
Okay.
is going to slip down the hallway, 2, 3, past Octavio,
I see Swift running. Like, oh no.
and then get up on top of the. You don't see this.
Oh, that's right.
And is going to get up. Use the rest of the movement to like climb up the slope.
okay.
I scream into where I.
You said it was a
think
10
Swift is,
foot, a 10-foot thing.
Yes.
Okay. So
Like,
yeah.
Go Swift, you can take him.
So Swift is just gonna disappear basically into the gloom, and just like breathing ragged and like bleeding, just like
Yeah. Meanwhile, Octavia's like, "Yeah, Swift. Yeah, get him!" Like looking into the chasm.
that's my turn.
Okay. The Yeti.
Are we just gonna take our time so Beery has something to kill?
The Yeti just like turns the Gar and just towards you.
It was calculated because I mean, if I took another hit, I was going.
I would imagine like its face is purple from like the poison spray and shit.
It's like swollen.
Oh,
Gar is
God.
ready.
Okay, what's your AC, Gar?
18.
Higher than
I don't know
mine.
why it keeps going down to 14. 18.
Okay, so it flails uselessly against your natural armor, but then it looks at you with its cold eyes. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Next time, I'm just gonna poke him in the eye.
Ah!
All right.
Because they can see you.
Oh my god.
No.
There's another
Not
11.
enough. Not
Beery,
in.
Beery's gonna do it.
All right, you take 6 cold damage, and now you're paralyzed.
All right. Well, now I'm just hanging out.
So it's Octavio's turn.
Octavio, you see this thing start running off, and then you just hear Gar go, "Oh no!"
So that's only
You're just gonna use that.
6, 8 points of damage.
I'll be honest with you, the first one was enough. Just
The other one's just
He
bouncing.
dies, and then the other two just kind of like go.
he just like unceremoniously smacks against the floor, and that's it. It's dead.
Not even gonna fake roll to see if I would have killed it on my head. I'm just not even gonna bother.
It just falls dead in front of Gar. Oh
I
god.
mean, Swift hasn't lived this long by being a brave idiot.
Okay. Okay, Gar, you're still paralyzed, by the way. So
The uncle shows up. Ah!
Jesus.
This whole family comes home.
with a six pack.
it's a Yeti Thanksgiving, guys. Who brought the sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on top?
Aww.
I like those though.
I know that said a lot.
All right, we're done here. Okay. All right.
The world's most miniature Yeti.
Just dead. Jesus Christ. What a fucking shit show of a battle.
The plan went nowhere. We lasted about one turn, and then
Yeah.
As soon as the second
why
one
the
showed
whole
up,
time-
the plan was out the window.
Yeah.
The whole time you guys were doing the plan, I was like, it's gonna go to shit. Like the
I thought the same damn thing.
That-
I
no,
was like,
not
I know
wrong.
this is useless.
Universal truth in D&D.
Yeah,
you make a
every
plan, it
time.
immediately goes to shit.
Yep.
Every time.
Always.
Andrew's just sitting there, like, just laughing on all of us internally, just like, they don't know there's a second Yeti.
this is not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm just reading the part that says, and a second Yeti eventually will show up. I'm just like,
Eventually means now.
yeah.
A sensible chuckle was had.
All right. Are we still in turn order?
No. We're out of initiative.
Okay, I'm gonna go in here.
Gar's still paralyzed though. I need to see another Constitution save.
Beery, I used my magic and I took down the big one.
Okay, I'm just gonna go in here. Wait, why is Octavio in here?
Because it connects on the other side.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just like I see it. And
Everybody
like,
just
Beery, I
left
took down the big
Gar.
one.
Gar's just like, guys.
I mean, I haven't moved from where I was standing previously, basically, so...
Beery's
Anyone?
so grumpy. I'm
What?
like, I'm glad. Good for you, Octavio, but fuck.
What do you expect us to do?
Octavio's like hurt.
What do you expect us to do, Gar? We can't keep you from being... We can't help you with this.
I'm fine. I'm hanging out. It'll go away.
Roll your con saves.
Yeah.
He's just there with 2 thumbs up.
You're just like.
It's hard to tell because Gar just kind of moves slow to begin with, so we don't actually realize anything's wrong.
Yeah. So what is the baby Yeti doing?
The baby Yeti, when you guys show up, it immediately starts to cower, like when it sees this big fucking Goliath in heavy armor. By the way, Barry, as you were passing by, these bones that you saw, the scraps of flesh that were on them carried the blue tattoos that you recognize as Sky Tower clan tattoos.
Fuck.
Yeah. Dude, got fucking eaten.
This is a weird question, but is there any like specific Goliath burial rituals or anything that I can do?
Sky burial actually is what Goliaths prefer. So, in a weird way.
Oh,
Throw 'em off
nice.
a cliff, or
No, you leave the body out in the open for the devour.
Oh,
Fun facts.
So, in a kind of a weird way, it's like, there's really not much you can do for this particular situation.
Fair.
Okay.
But
also, it's
that's
a Sky Tower clan. Fuck those people. Fuck them.
I mean, I'm an asshole when it comes to that, but like, I don't know. Death is the great equalizer in Beery's eyes, I guess.
You've seen plenty of it.
Yeah. Either way, at this point, I kind of walk in. If that halfling is still crying in a ball, I kind of like, I pick him up by the shirt collar and just put him on his feet.
When you pick, it's a girl, by the way.
Oh,
When you
okay, sorry.
When as you pick her up, the first move, she's like, it yelps, and okay, you're fine, Gar. It only lasts. I think it only lasts like a minute. Yeah, you're fine.
all right. I'm coming.
The entire time, Gar was like trying to get like a cookie on their shoulder, like. But the Yeti tiger like kind of like starts to like scamper around, freaking out. It wants its mommy.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But
Does it curl up next to the dead body of her mom?
Oh no.
And it
Oh,
starts-
no.
it starts to do a little Yeti cry, like, and you hear it whisper in Yeti how it's gonna vow revenge.
Did anyone else hear that?
It was only in Yeti though.
The Yeti
But-
language.
It's plotting
The-
revenge.
The halfling like yelps and then kind of like looks around and sees that there's people here. It's like,
Hi, it's okay. We're actually here to save you. I'm Beery. That's Octavio, the one with the pew pews, and
Hi.
Swift is the grumpy one hiding in the shadows, and that's Gar over
You
there.
can't actually see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
slips over.
Swim
oh, there it
steps
is.
into the light. Hi. You
Scans
just see
the
now that
room
Swift is
looking
just like covered in like much smaller Yeti scratches.
It's like cat scratches. By
Well,
comparison.
no,
Yeah.
like cat scratches that have like gouged inches into my flesh. Yeah, sure.
and the fuck Paralu, the halfling. I couldn't remember the species. Paralu says, "Did the captain send you?"
Yep. Captain's back at the base camp right now.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Fortunately, I think Garrett might be dead.
I do think Garrett's.
I killed Makengo.
Oh, I saw.
I saw too.
I also saw.
No, I think
Takes
she's
a lot.
saying. I think she's saying she saw it happen
Yeah.
in front of her eyes. Yeah.
That happens when you hang out with Yetis.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
can I search the cave?
You can.
Oh, yeah.
If
There
you
was
search-
like a bunch of equipment on the opposite wall.
Oh, we're definitely searching this cave.
If you hold on 1 second, Paralu. As you like search the cave again.
Oh, Paralu, here's a ration. Here, I know you're probably hungry.
Swift
Um,
goes over and like looks to see if Paralu's injured,
Yeah,
non-emotionally.
I give
she is-
Paralu a ration.
She is actually surprisingly not hurt in any way, shape, or form. Besides, like
Your cowering has saved your life.
Besides, like bumps and bruises.
Blue
They
Eddies found you entertaining.
found you too pathetic to eat.
You know,
Um,
that's what they do say in Icewind Dale. If you find yourself cornered by a Yeti, roll up into a ball, and
But what you see against the wall is the shattered remnants of a dog sled, a mess kit, and an explorer's pack.
Cool.
Or the contents of explorer's pack, like strewn around the cave.
shatter remnants of a dog sled.
Explorer's pack: backpack, bedroll, mess kit, tinderbox, torches, rations, water skin, hemp, and rope. I take the rope and the rations.
Is there anything like buried amongst the snowy refuse over here?
Each one of us gets
Just
2 rations.
bones
we all
and-
get a cut.
People.
Nice.
Or the remnants
Ah.
of people.
Soylent Green.
It's people.
Oh.
So what are we gonna do in this situation? Paralu's here. What are we gonna do?
Leave. We go back to
Leave.
base camp.
Excellent. Okay.
Mhm.
You're just gonna pick up Paralu and just okay.
Yeah, we just go back.
Before we leave, though, as we're all kind of filing out, I actually want to stop and I just want to like leave near the baby Yeti, like my crag cat meat.
As you get closer to it, it cowers and whimpers away from you. And when you put the meat in front of it, like
I
It
just kind of
doesn't-
say it. Yeah, as we're leaving, I'm like, I'm sorry for what happened. I'll see you in 10 years when you're a full-grown Yeti, and I'll murder you. Bye.
okay, bye.
Octavia's still like, what did you just say?
Swift is gonna linger behind, sort of
Kill
looking
Yeti.
at the baby Yeti. It's just in Swift thinking about it. Is this baby on its own likely to survive?
I mean, it probably can. It is far a Yeti tyke is far sturdier than a normal human being is. And it does have, let me see. I want to say they still have natural abilities. Yeah, they still have like hunting capabilities.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Da-da-da.
I hope I say something nicer, like, oh, I hope you survive so I can fight you later.
So I mean, if it's not like a certainty, like it'll probably survive.
I mean,
Uh,
it is a baby, but you also have to take into consideration how big the parents were. Like, it might be a baby, but it's probably taller than the halfling is. So,
Yeah. So I think Swift just kind of like stares at it in the darkness,
for a second.
and just says out loud to no one in particular because they don't think it can understand them. But this is sometimes how life leaves us, huh?
The Yeti
Hopefully,
doesn't.
sometimes, or hopefully you will live to grow past this. And then just sort of walks out behind everyone else.
If you grow up and you're still bitter about this, come find me.
Not that speech. Not that speech. I think Swift is just kind of having like a moment where they feel like some kind of connection to this Yeti.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little Yeti tyke looks at you with sad, pleading eyes, but then starts to nom, 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 on its crag cat meat that Beery left for it.
So I hate to do this, but it is 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Can
fine.
we? Is there like a spot where we can?
Oh God, Garrett's dead.
Garrett's not dead. He's just like with like a gaping wound in his chest.
Oh, I cure wounds him.
I immediately throw up.
I'll cure
On
wounds him
Garrett.
while I remember too.
I walk up behind Swift and I see that you're extremely injured.
I'm also extremely injured, just so you know.
Oh, both of you are?
Yeah, he's at 8. I'm at 7.
Oh, okay, so
The
maybe
the distraction team did a real good job.
yeah, maybe Gar can take care of Octavio, right?
Yeah, I can definitely help.
But
Alright,
I'm gonna go ahead and cure wounds, Garrett.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'm gonna walk up behind Swift and kind of just lay my hand on his shoulder or on their shoulder, and I
Yeah.
hit you with 15 lay on hands.
Oh hell yeah! Back up to 22, baby.
Baby.
I'm throwing up as Gar heals me.
And Beer is also kind of trying to console you in this moment because I can see like this is not an easy decision for you either.
Oh my god. Good thing I did the second level cast.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
There's
Lord.
a lot of ones.
It ended up being 9. Or 10?
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's 17. That's fine. Or
Oh, 10.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, 18. And Garrett got
Yeah,
7.
That's almost full. I'm like against the wall, and then he hits me. I was like,
Oh, that's 2. That's 2, Garrett.
Okay, so
Swift isn't keeping track.
Mm-mm.
okay, so I'm just gonna make this real quick just so we can get
Yeah.
right back to base
Yeah.
camp. Okay, Garrett's too fucked up. Swift, roll me a survival check to navigate back to base camp from where you guys are at.
Natural 20.
Fantastic. All right, you guys. Okay, and you stroll.
The dice
back-
agree.
Yeah. The dice like okay, let's wrap this shit up. Okay, so you wander back a little less bloodied than you were getting out of the cave, and you wander back with Paralu quite literally under Beery's arm, ready to give whatever intel she has to the captain. And you see now that the captain has waken up from whatever slumber they were in. So that's where we're going to pick back up, back to the camp of the Crystal Cairn, and we'll, like I said, that's where we're going to pick back up.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
awesome, everybody that just joined us. No, I was kidding. Thank you so much for sticking
Naturally.
by. We'll be back next week with another episode continuing our adventures through Rime of the Frostmaiden. Also, tune in, not this Thursday, but Tuesdays and Thursdays for Epic Library of Epic Games, where we play games online. Yay!
Except this
With
Thursday.
that- except this Thursday, yeah. But with that, you guys have a good night and a wonderful rest of your week. And as always, keep on gaming. Bye!